I know.
God. What is this Sith hood you got on?
What?
The hood you just put on.
I'm Ghostface.
The Ghostface hood.
I mean,
As long
if
as
you
it's not a KKK hood, I think we'll be fine.
Oop.
I like the ghost.
And I think that might be
I think it's the wrong color for that, so I might be safe.
I mean, just you know.
Although I'm definitely wide enough for the hood and myself. Good job.
Ooh.
I literally, for the wedding, I have to get a spray tan because working at Valvoline, my farmer's tan is so bad. But like, look at this, like that versus this, they're like 7 shades different here. It's terrible.
Okay.
And I've got this awesome like tan line from my dress shirts. So like here is tan, but everything below it's not. It's awful.
Oh God.
So I have to get it evened out so I don't look like an idiot at the wedding any more than usual.
I was gonna say, but you said it for me. Oh God. All right, if I can get my messenger list to go away.
What are you doing? No.
It's a market improvement. No, we don't want to see you.
No. Stop it,
You're hideous.
jerk.
Yes, you.
Anyways.
I mean, honestly, Mona, if you wanted a ghost face mask, you should have just asked.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah. Well, I guess on that note,
I don't do well with masks that cover my face, though.
Right.
So the fun thing about this is I can't read through it, but I can see just fine.
okay.
But I
Great.
figure that I can have it like here, and I can read just fine. So still, decent amount of my face is covered.
Oh, it's no problem.
Yeah, I couldn't do
Well,
that.
I'm already like suffocating in this, so I'm gonna make this very quick.
It's the same reason, like with like pup play and whatnot. Like I can't wear a pup mask. Like I can't do a hood because I can't I hate my whole face being covered.
Okay, so I guess on that note, God, this is terrible. Hello, everybody.
Hey.
Welcome to our live script reading of Scream to benefit ActBlue's Flip the Senate campaign. All right, I can't do it. I was gonna try to do all the intros with this, but it's not. It's not happening. It's not happening. It sounds like I'm speaking in like a echo chamber. All right, I am Sarah Jameson. I am playing later the role of Tatum Riley, but I'm starting out getting killed as Casey Becker. With us tonight, we have, spoilers, they're like 25 years old. With us tonight, we have a really great cast. A lot of people returning that we haven't seen for a hot minute. Let's go down the line, and I'm just going literally out of what I've got. Starring as our heroine, we have Samantha Madison back as Sydney Prescott.
Hi, because Black lives and scary horror films matter too.
Yes. We have, as their boyfriend Billy Loomis, we have Cadaver Daddy-O back. Welcome back.
Hey.
As Randy Meeks, we have Sean Watson back again.
Hello, all.
We have Gail Weathers, Michelle Wynn. Michelle also gets the shout out because she's raised like, how much was it from the fundraiser?
It was a little over $400.
$400 for Act Blue, which we'll talk more about the Flip the Senate campaign before we start Act 2. Michelle gave herself 90s Courtney Cox thanks because she's playing Gail Weathers. As Stu Mocker, we have Ginger Fahrenheit.
Yo!
Playing yet another dude bro. As Deputy Dewey Riley, we have Luke Seckington back.
Welcome to another edition of Thunderdome.
I love this every time. As Principal Himbry, we have Narcissus back again.
Howdy.
And as our ghost-faced voice / narrator, we have Mona Chase. So without further ado, I'm gonna unplug my audio on something because I've got to disconnect my headphones so we can hear this so we can hear the phone effects. So give me 1 second. All right. So, Mona, whenever you're ready, take it away.
All right. Hold on. Sorry. Gotta get my life together.
No, for a minute I thought you were muted. I'm like, hello?
No,
Oh,
sorry.
here we go.
No, I'm just trying to get my life together.
Y'all ready for mute face?
Nope, not today. Y'all not gonna start with me. Not today. No.
All right.
I'm ready today. Okay.
Scream by Kevin Williamson. Fade in. On a ringing telephone, a hand reaches for it, bringing the receiver up to the face of Casey Becker, a young girl no more than 16, a friendly face with innocent eyes.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes?
Who is this?
Who are you trying to reach?
What number is this?
Well, what number are you trying to reach?
I don't know.
Well, I think you have the wrong number.
Do I?
It happens. Take it easy.
Click. She hangs up the phone. The camera pulls back to reveal Casey in a living room alone. She moves from the living room to the kitchen. A nice house, affluent. The phone rings again. Interior of the kitchen, Casey grabs the portable.
Hello?
I'm sorry. I guess I dialed the wrong number.
So why did you dial it again?
To apologize.
You're forgiven. Bye now.
Wait, don't hang up. Casey stands in front of the sliding glass door. It is pitch black outside.
What?
I want to talk to you for a second.
They've got 900 numbers for that. See ya.
Click. Casey hangs up, a grin on her face. Exterior of Casey's house, nighttime. A big country home with huge, sprawling lawn full of big oak trees. Sits alone without any neighbors in sight. The phone rings again. Interior of the kitchen, Jiffy Pop sizzles in the pot on the stove. Casey covers it with a lid, reaching for the portable phone.
Hello?
Why don't you want to talk to me?
Who is this?
You tell me your name, I'll tell you mine.
I don't think so.
What's that noise? Casey smiles, playing along innocently.
Popcorn.
You're making popcorn?
Uh-huh.
I only eat popcorn at the movies.
Well, I'm getting ready to watch a video.
Really? What?
Oh, just some scary movie.
Do you like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie? He's clearly flirting with her. Casey moves away from the stove and takes a seat at the kitchen counter, directly in front of the glass door.
I don't know.
You have to have a favorite. Casey thinks for a second.
Halloween. You know the one with the guy with the white mask who walks around and stalks babysitters? What's yours?
Guess.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Is that the one where the guy had knives for fingers?
Yeah, Freddy Krueger.
Freddy, that's right. I like that movie. It was scary.
Well, the first one was, but the rest sucked.
So, you got a boyfriend?
Why, you want to ask me out on a date?
Maybe. Do you have a boyfriend?
No.
You never told me your name. Casey smiles, twirling her hair.
Why do you want to know my name?
Because I want to know who I'm looking at. Casey spins around, like lightning, facing the glass door.
What did you say?
I said I want to know who I'm talking to.
That's not what you said.
What do you think I said? Hello? Casey clicks on the outside light. A floodlight illuminates the backyard. Her eyes survey the grounds, but it's empty. No one there. She turns the light out. On the stove, popcorn pops.
Look, I gotta go.
Wait, I thought we were gonna go out.
No, I don't think so.
Don't hang up on me. Click. Casey hangs up. She checks the glass door, making sure that it's locked, and moves to the stove as the phone rings. She slides the popcorn from the stove, reaching for the phone.
Yes?
I told you not to hang up on me.
What do you want?
To talk.
Well, dial someone else, okay?
Click. She hangs up. The phone rings again. She grabs it.
Listen, asshole!
No, you listen, you little bitch. You hang up on me again and I'll gut you like a fish, understand? Total silence. He's gotten her full attention.
Is this some kind of joke?
More of a game, really. Can you handle that, Blondie? Casey eyes the glass doors and looks up the hallway to the front door. Moving to it, it's unlocked. She bolts it, looking out the glass portion. Can you see me?
Listen, I am 2 seconds away from calling the police.
They'd never make it in time. We're in the middle of nowhere. Casey moves, her face flush against the door, her eye looking through the peephole. Angle through the peephole, a distorted view of the front porch. It's empty. She relaxes, a bit, relieved.
I think I just... Yeah, okay. What do you want?
To see what your insides look like. Casey's jaw drops. Total fear storms her face. She hangs up the phone, throwing it down on the side table when, ding dong, the doorbell chimes. Casey leaps out of her skin. She turns to the door as it chimes again.
Who's there?
Another chime. She moves to it.
Who's there? Who's there? I'm calling the police.
No answer. Fuck this. She goes for the portable phone. Just as she picks it up, it rings. Casey almost drops it, screaming. She brings it to her ear with trembling hands, saying nothing, listening, waiting. A long silence, and then, you should never say who's there. Don't you watch scary movies? That's a death wish. You might as well come out here and investigate a strange noise or something. Casey clutches the wall, nearly collapsing. She tries her damnedest to hang through.
Look, you've had your fun now. You better leave or else.
Or else what? Close in on her face, her mind clearly thinking, calculating.
Or else my boyfriend will be here any second and he'll be pissed when he does.
I thought you didn't have a boyfriend. Busted. She holds steady.
I lied. I do have a boyfriend and he'll be here any second, so your ass better be gone.
Sure.
He's big and he's football and he'll kick the shit out of you.
Oh, I'm getting scared. Shaking in my boots.
So you better leave.
His name wouldn't be Steve, would it? Silence. Casey buckles at the knees, completely losing it.
How do you know his name?
Go to the back door and turn on the porch light again. Casey, terrified, forces herself to move. Staggering to the kitchen, to the glass doors, her shaky hands find the light switch. She hits it. The backyard is lit, and sitting in a lawn chair in the middle of the backyard, the big linebacker of a guy, her boyfriend, Steve. Tied and gagged, he's been roughed up, but he's alive. Close on his eyes, wide with fear, staring at his girlfriend, pleading with her.
Oh, God!
Casey screams. Her hand moves to lock the door, to the lock on the door. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Terror rides Casey's face. She's petrified.
Where are you?
Guess. Her eyes search the yard, combing the trees. He could be anywhere. Anywhere.
Please don't hurt him.
That all depends on you.
Why are you doing this?
Tears find their way streaming down Casey's face. I want to play a game.
No.
Well, then he dies. Right now.
No!
Well, which is it? Which is it? A long silence. Casey touches the glass, staring at Steve. This big jock of a guy is crying too.
What kind of game?
Turn off the light and you'll see what kind of game. Just do it! Her hand goes to the switch. Steve tugs and pulls at his straps as if begging her, his face sweet with tears. Click. He disappears in the darkness. Casey moves away from the glass, back toward the living room, unbelieving, horrified. So, here's how we play. I ask a question. If you get it right, Steve lives. 3 curtainless windows line one wall. Casey crouches down behind the couch, tipping a lamp cord from its socket, darkening the room. Her body quivers.
Please don't do this.
Come on, it'll be fun.
No, please.
It's an easy category. Movie trivia.
Please.
I'll even give you a warm-up question.
Don't do this. I can't.
Name the killer from Halloween.
No.
Come on, it's your favorite scary movie, remember? He had a white mask, he stalked the babysitters. Casey goes silent, a nervous wreck. She can barely speak, much less think.
I don't know.
Come on, yes you do.
Please stop.
Casey is sobbing. What's his name?
I think.
Casey has officially reached hysteria, petrified beyond all reality. Steve's counting on you. And then suddenly, through the tears, God sent.
Michael Myers.
Yes. Casey sighs, relieved. Now for the real question.
No!
But you're doing so well. We can't stop now.
Please leave us alone.
Then answer the question. Same category. Casey's now a blubbering, wet mess on the floor.
Please stop.
Name the killer in Friday the 13th. A mad smile purses Casey's lips. She knows this. She leaps up through the tears, screaming.
Jason! Jason! Jason!
A slight pause. I'm sorry. That's the wrong answer.
No, it's not. It was Jason.
Afraid not. No way.
Listen, it was Jason. I saw that movie 20 goddamn times.
Then you should know it's Jason's mother. Mrs. Voorhees was the original killer. Jason didn't show up until the sequel. I'm afraid that was the wrong answer. Casey is stupefied.
You tricked me.
Well, lucky for you, there's a bonus round. But poor Steve, well, I'm afraid he's out. The implication sends Casey running to the kitchen, to the glass doors. She flips on the porch light to see Steve, eyes wide, sitting in the lawn chair, his belly gaping open, mass of blood and ripped flesh. His insides lay on the ground between his feet, steam rising. Casey freezes. Sound won't come out, though she wants to scream, as she collapses on the floor, nearly passing out. Close on her face, pale and ghostly white, she sobs.
You farted.
I did not.
Oh.
I'm messing with the couch. This isn't a funny part of the movie, Ginger.
Sorry.
Some of us are trying to focus, not play games on our phones.
Sorry. I got a long time before Mrs. Tate shows up, okay?
Right. Where the crap was I?
Sorry.
You were at Freeze's. She wants to close on her.
There we go.
face.
Casey freezes. Sound won't come out, though she wants to scream as she collapses on the floor, nearly passing out. Close on her face, pale, ghostly white. She sobs. Hey, we're not finished yet. Final question. Are you ready? No answer. A long, maddening silence. Casey reaches up and clicks off the light, making Steve go away. Wishing, hoping.
Leave me alone. Please.
Answer the question and I will. Casey's curled up on the floor like an infant, rocking back and forth slowly. What door am I at?
What?
There's two main doors to your house, a front door and the patio door. If you answer correctly, you live. Very simple. From where Casey sits, she can see both front and back doors. She deliberates. With her last bit of strength, she tries to strategize, eyeing both the front door, the back door, trying to decide between the two.
Don't do this. I can't. I won't.
It's your call. In the darkness, Casey crawls to the kitchen counter. She leans up and grabs a long, sharp knife. Casey looks around her. She looks down the hall to the front door. She turns back to the kitchen and the glass door as it suddenly shatters into bits. As a lawn chair comes flying through it, exploding glass sprays everywhere. This incites Casey like fire. She springs to her feet, bolting out of the kitchen as a shadow moves quickly through the shattered door frame. Angle on Casey. Somewhere in the house, back flat against a wall, listening to feet on cracking glass. She turns and unlocks the latch, quietly sliding it up. She can hear him move through the foyer to the front door. Casey lifts herself up and puts her legs through the window. She holds the knife in one hand, the phone in the other. Casey eases out of the window, fumbling, dropping the knife back in the house. She starts to reach for it. Fuck it, she takes off. Exterior of the side of the house, Casey is at the back door of the house. She eases along the narrow path between the tall fence and the side of the house, going for the front yard. She must pass the 3 curtainless windows. She gets to the first one and peeks in. The figure has pulled open the foyer closet, searching for her. Casey creeps along to the next window and looks in. The figure is completely on the other side of the room, moving towards the hall that leads down to the other parts of the house. She moves further along the house, squeezing by the hedges, to the third window. She peeks in to the figure, staring directly back at her. His face covered with a ghostly white mask, inches from her, his eyes piercing through, soulless. Casey screams bloody murder. Oh, that was a good silent scream. I love it. As a hand crashes through the glass window, grabbing a hold of her neck. She beats at him, trying to free herself. Her nails dig into his arm. She wrenches from side to side, finally breaking free as a hand disappears inside the house. Exterior of the corner of the house. Casey sails around the corner of the house, eyeing the front door. It remains closed. Her eyes cover the sprawling country yard when suddenly headlights appear. In the distance, coming down the road towards the house. She recognizes them instantly, Mom and Dad. She tears off across the yard towards them, moving like lightning. The car turns into the driveway. Casey screams, waving madly, rushing by the trees as the ghost face masked figure appears. Casey stumbles back, catching her balance. The figure moves on to her, arms poised high, flash of silver, and Casey is struck across the chest. She looks down to see her shirt blossoming red. A look of bewilderment as she drops to one knee. The knife rises again. Casey throws her hands forward. The blade comes down, but it's blocked by the portable phone still in her hand. She turns, staggering to the exterior of the driveway. A middle-aged couple emerges from the parked car. They move to the front door, completely unaware of what's happening to their daughter, only feet from them. Back in the front yard, Casey stumbles forward, her parents 10 feet away. She opens her mouth to scream, but no sound resonates. She's beyond words, staggering, swaying. The figure moves behind her. Her parents move through the front door.
That fish smelled strong.
Told you to send it back.
The father discovers the front door ajar. Puzzled look. Casey's right behind them with one arm outstretched. If only they turn around. They enter the house and close the door as Casey collapses on the ground, clutching her body, her bloody chest, the figure upon her. In the interior of the foyer, the father sees back into this father sees straight back into the kitchen and the shattered patio door.
Jesus.
What is it? Where's Casey?
Casey? Casey?
In a split second, they're both panic-stricken. The father begins searching the house frantically. The mother is hysterical. Back in the front yard, we close in on Casey. She's dragged by her feet through the damp soil, the life going fast from her body, her hands still clutching the phone for dear life. Interior of the foyer, back in the house.
Where is she?
Call the police.
The mother moves to pick up the phone in the foyer. She picks it up. There's no dial tone. She jiggles the base.
Casey? Where are you, honey? Call the police, goddammit.
The phone's dead.
Then the softest, faintest voice is heard.
Help.
She's here. Oh God, I can hear her. Where's my baby?
The husband returns to the foyer, finding his wife clinging to the phone.
Where is she?
I can hear her. Oh my God, I can hear her.
The father upturns the living room.
Casey! Casey!
Not my daughter. Not my...
The husband grabs hold of his wife.
Get in the car and drive down to the Mackenzies.
The other throws the front door open and rushes out. The father moves... Oh, I'm assuming that's supposed to be the mother. Stupid script. The mother throws open the front door and rushes out. The father moves through the house when a scream echoes. That of his wife. He tears off to the front door. On the exterior of the front door, the father rushes out to find his wife on her knees, bent over, retching. His eyes move beyond to the tree in the front yard. His stomach fails him. His dinner rises as he bears witness to the single most horrifying sight he'll ever see. that of his only daughter as she hangs from the big oak tree, strung up, very much dead, stomach ripped open. Blackout. Begin the main titles. We fade into the interior of the bedroom the same night. It's a teenage girl's room, neat and pinkish. On the bed, amongst age-old stuffed animals, lie open school books. The camera pans to the desk against the wall where Sydney Prescott, a young girl of 17, sits, her face glued to the computer monitor in front of her. Close on her eyes and her face. Sharp and very clever with deep, lonely eyes. She's comfortable in a plain flannel nightgown. Her hands are at work typing feverishly when suddenly, crash, boom, a noise behind her. She turns abruptly, eyeing an open window across the room. A scratching sound. She stands and moves towards it. From the exterior of the window, we see Sydney stick her head out the window. The late night wind hits her face as a shadow appears just to the left of her. A hand reaches out, grabs her, and suddenly the figure is on top of her. Interior of the bedroom, you hear Sydney scream, pulling away from the figure, breaking free, falling on the floor.
Hey, it's just me.
Sid looks up to see Billy Loomis, a young, strapping boy of 17, handsome and alluring, star quarterback, class president type guy. Sports a smile, and that could last for days.
Billy, what the?
I'm sorry, don't hate me.
What are you doing here?
You sleep in that?
Billy pulls himself through the window.
My dad's in the other room.
I'll only stay a sec.
Suddenly, the bedroom door bursts open. The doorknob catches on the closet door behind it, jamming it, holding it in place.
What's going on in there?
Billy rolls quickly out of sight behind the bed. Sydney unjams the door to reveal Mr. Prescott, late 40s, a severe presence, a distracted man, nervous and preoccupied.
Are you okay?
Can you knock?
I heard screaming.
No, you didn't.
No? Oh, well, I'm hitting the sack. My flight leaves first thing in the morning. Now, the expo runs all weekend, so I won't be back till Sunday. There's cash on the table, and I'll be staying at the Hilton.
Out at the airport.
So call if you need me.
Got it.
He gives the bedroom a quick once-over.
I could have swore I heard screaming.
Sydney distracts him, giving him a peck on the cheek.
Have a good trip.
Sleep tight, sweetie.
He gives her a wink and pulls the door closed. Billy reappears.
Close call.
What are you doing here?
Billy takes a flying leap and lands on the bed.
It just occurred to me that I'd never snuck through your bedroom window.
Now that it's out of your system.
And I was home, bored, watching television. The Exorcist was on, and it got me thinking of you.
Oh, it did.
Yeah, it was all edited for TV. All the good stuff was cut out, and I started thinking about us and how 2 years ago we started off kind of hot and heavy, a nice solid R rating on our way to NC-17, and now things have changed, and lately we're just sort of edited for television.
So you thought you could sneak in my window and we would have a little bump?
No, I wouldn't dream of breaking your underwear rule. I just thought we might do some stuff on top of the clothes.
She snuggles up next to him, planting a kiss on his lips. Passionate, but gentle. He, however, reacts like a shark, moving on top of her, hands everywhere as he presses into her. Sydney breaks away.
Time to go, stud bucket.
Billy sits up. His heart isn't racing, it's pounding.
See what you do to me?
Sweat has popped out all over his forehead, his breathing heavy.
You know what my dad will do to you.
I'm going.
He moves to the window. She follows, motioning to his wound.
I appreciate the romantic gesture.
She gives him a kiss goodnight, sweet and simple.
Hey, about the sex stuff. I'm not trying to rush you. I was only half serious.
She kisses him again, and he eases through the window.
Would you settle for a PG-13 relationship?
What's that?
She pulls her flannel gown open for a split second, flashing her left.
I was gonna say, please don't flash. Please don't flash.
Good job, babe. His mouth drops open. Surprise, shock. Their eyes meet. They share a smile.
Get out of here.
On the interior of Sydney's bedroom, early morning. Close in on Sydney, snuggling her pillow, sleeping peacefully, when the radio alarm blasts from the night table, loud enough to wake the dead. Sydney bolts up.
I'm brutally murdered.
Click. Sydney, quick, with reflexes, shuts it off instantly. A car trunk slams shut outside. Sydney pulls herself out of bed and leans to the window just in time to see her dad jumping in the car. She waves down at him, but he doesn't see her. He's as good as gone, pulling out of the driveway and disappearing down the road. Foreshadowing. A moment as Sydney stands at the window, staring out after him. We move to the exterior of the school in the morning. Close in on a sign, Woodsboro High School, home of the Fighting Bulldogs. The camera pulls back to reveal a picture-perfect small-town school, old and charming. Students come and go, moving about, nothing unusual except for the 6 police cars, 4 news vans, flashing cameras, and crowds of looky-loos gathered just off of the campus. On the sidewalk, Sydney approaches the school, seeing the commotion. 4 different reporters stand in front of 4 different cameras, giving 4 different news reports. She moves past the policeman standing guard. Her interest piqued, she stops at the first reporter, who is Gail Weathers. 30s, a smart face, is overshadowed by a flashy smile and a massive mane of chemically enhanced hair.
The small town of Woodsboro, North Carolina, was devastated last night when 2 young teenagers were found brutally murdered. Authorities have yet to issue a statement, but our sources tell us that no arrests have been made and the murderer could strike again.
The camera moves in on Sydney, moved and disturbed. From behind, a finger taps her on the shoulder. She spins around to see Tatum Riley. Same age, feisty, carefree.
Do you believe this shit?
What happened?
They break away from the crowd and head for school.
Oh God, you don't know? Casey Becker and Steve Orth were killed last night.
No way.
And not just killed, Sid. We're talking splatter movie kill. Split open end to end.
Casey Becker? She sits next to me in English.
Not anymore. Her parents found her hanging from a tree.
Do they know who did it?
Freeze.
Yeah, I think she's frozen.
No, she froze.
I'm sorry. I thought Sam was froze. I heard her line. Fucking clueless. They're interrogating the entire school. Teachers, students, staff, janitors.
You think it's school related?
They don't know. Dewey said this is the worst crime they've ever seen. Even worse than, well, it's bad.
Sydney looks back at Gail, her face deeply pained. We move to the interior of the classroom. Later, a frumpy old woman, Mrs. Tate.
Hey, that's me.
Yeah, frumpy old. Frumpy and
You were
old.
gonna say, ah!
There you are, babe. Her face catches the class. Her hands clasped together, a tragic look upon her face. That's just her face. You leave her alone. Ginger Fahrenheit. A terrible, I'm sorry, it's just Miss Tate. A terrible tragedy.
Hey, that's my line, you fucker. Would you shut up for a second? A terrible tragedy, an unbearable loss. It's days like today we need prayer in school.
Sydney sits near the rear of the room. The desk in front of her sits vacant. Sydney can't take her eyes off of it. The door opens and a student opens with a slip of paper. He hands it to Mrs. Tate.
Sydney, it appears to be your turn.
We move to the interior of the principal's office. The room is at capacity, wall to wall with police and the likes. Some sit, some stand, some lean. Sheriff Burke, a round man in his 50s, wipes the stress from his face.
Who's up next?
Young officer looks at the clipboard. This is Deputy Riley, better known as Dewey. Big guy, 20s, handsome in a scrubbed clean boyish way.
Sydney Prescott?
Sheriff Burke gestures to bring her in. Principal Hembry, 50s, an old codger of a man wearing a sour face, speaks up.
Sydney Prescott. She was the daughter of...
We all know Sydney, Mr. Hembry.
How's she doing?
She's adjusted well. Maintains an A average. You'd never know she...
Hembry stops short, seeing Sydney in the doorway. He rises and sees her.
Ah, Sydney.
Sheriff Burke, Julie.
But it's
Dewey, take
Deputy
this here.
Riley today, Sid.
How is everything?
Good.
And your dad, how's he doing?
We're fine.
We'll be brief. Sydney, the police have a few questions they'd like to ask you.
Sydney eyes them all nervously. We move to the exterior of the school later in the day. Students sit at outdoor tables eating lunch. Crowded at one table is the gang. This consists of Sydney, Billy, and Tatum. Next to Tatum sits her boyfriend, Stuart, with his arms draped across her back. He's a Billy wannabe. Almost a jock, almost as handsome, almost as cool, trying way too hard. Sounds about right. Across the table is the fifth wheel, Randy, a tall and gangly kid with no such Billy-like aspirations. Witty jokester who elevates geek to coolness.
Hunt? Why would they ask if you like to hunt?
Oh, I can't hear. I don't know. They just did.
Because their bodies were gutted.
Sydney flinches.
Thanks, Randy.
Didn't ask me if I'd like to hunt.
Because there's no way a girl could have killed him.
That is so sexist. The killer could easily be female. Basic instinct.
That was an ice pick. Not exactly the same.
Yeah, Casey and Steve were completely hollowed out. Takes a man to do something like that.
Or a man's mentality.
Sydney speaks quietly, almost to herself.
How do you gut someone?
All eyes turn to Sydney. A serious silence, and then
You take a knife and slit them from groin to sternum.
Sydney shivers down to her soul. The whole table rolls their eyes at Stu.
What? She asked.
It's called tact, you fuck rag.
Sorry.
Remember in Jaws when they caught the wrong shark at first and Richard Dreyfuss cut it open to look for body parts and all they found was a license plate and all this white milky goo?
Stu leans over and socks Randy in the arm.
You heard Billy. Shut the fuck up.
Dude, didn't you used to date Casey?
Stu's taken aback, a little off guard.
For about 2 seconds.
Before she dumped him for Steve.
Tatum turns to Stu, surprised.
You dumped her for me.
I did. He's full of shit.
And are you aware, are the police aware you dated the victim?
What are you saying? That I killed her or something?
It would certainly improve your high school Q.
He was with me last night.
Ooh, before or after he sliced and diced?
Fuck you, nutcase. Where were you last night?
Working, thank you.
You can tell this is a draft because this is not in the the final screenplay. Really? I thought Blockbuster fired you.
Twice.
I didn't kill anybody.
No one's saying you did.
Besides, takes a man to do something like that.
I'm gonna gut your ass in a second.
Did you put her liver in the mailbox? Because I heard I found her liver in the mailbox next to her spleen and her pancreas.
Randy, you goon fuck. I'm trying to eat here.
Stu nibbles at Tatum's neck.
Yeah, Randy. She's getting mad. I think you better leave her alone.
Stu cracks up at his own joke. The others just moan. Sydney is about to crawl out of her skin, trying hard to ignore all of it. Tatum sees and smacks Stu's arm.
Ow.
Exterior of Sydney's house later. A huge 2-story country home with a spacious lawn. Yellow school bus stops in front of the house and Sydney steps off. The house looks big and lonely as Sydney moves up the walk to the front door. Interior of the bedroom later. Sydney is on the telephone.
Sure, I can stay over. My dad won't be back till Sunday.
No problem. I'll pick you up after practice.
Tell your mom I said thanks.
Yeah. Are you okay?
Uh-huh. It's just, the police and reporters. It brings it all back.
I'll be there by 7. I promise.
Thanks, Tatum.
Later.
Sydney hangs up. She takes a seat at her computer and boots it up. She sits in front of the screen, staring at the blue screen. her own reflection staring back. She moves to the living room. Sydney comes down the stairs, arms carrying a change of clothes, toothbrush, makeup. She opens the hall closet and pulls a small overnight bag from the top shelf. Moving into the living room, she loads it up, plopping down on the sofa, hitting the TV remote. We close in on the screen as a news reporter fades in.
The entire nation was shocked today by the teen murders in North Carolina.
Sydney switches the channel.
The State Bureau of Investigation has joined forces with the local authorities to help catch what governors has called the most heinous.
Channel switches again. Gail Weathers appears, standing in front of the school, her white, gleaming teeth.
This is not the first time the small town of Woodsboro has endured such a tragedy. 1 year ago, Maureen Prescott, wife and mother, was found raped and murdered.
An old black and white snapshot fills the screen. A woman, beautiful and familiar. We close in on Sydney, eyes frozen, mesmerized by the image. Suddenly, she clicks the TV off. Her eyes go to the clock at the end of the table, 5:45. Her eyes move to the framed photo next to it. The same black and white photo stares at her. A healthy, vibrant woman. An older version of Sydney. Sydney curls up on the sofa, closing her eyes tight. Later on in the living room, the clock reads 7:15. Sydney's fast asleep on the couch. The phone rings. Sydney leaps up, grabbing the portable.
Practice ran late. I'm on my way.
It's past 7.
Don't worry. Casey and Steve didn't buy it till way after 10.
I'm not worried.
Good, because I want to swing my Blockbuster and get us a video. I was thinking Tom Cruise and all the right moves. You know, if you pause it just right, you can see his penis. Although I don't like if anyone would ever want to see that.
Whatever, just hurry.
Bye.
She hangs up the phone and it immediately rings again.
Tatum.
Hello, Sydney. It's him, the voice from before.
Hi, who is this?
You tell me. Sydney thinks, trying to place the voice. It sounds a little distorted.
I have no idea.
Scary night, isn't it? With the murders and all. It's like right out of a horror movie or something.
Randy, you gave yourself away. Are you calling from work? Tatum's on her way over.
Do you like scary movies, Sydney?
I like that thing you're doing with your voice, Randy. It's sexy.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Don't start. You know I don't watch that shit.
And why is that?
Because they're all the same. It's always some stupid killer stalking some big-breasted girl who can't act, who always runs up the stairs when she should be going out the front door. They're ridiculous.
A brief silence. Are you alone in the house?
This is so unoriginal. You disappoint me, Randy.
Hold on, my computer's catching up. There we go. Maybe it's because I'm not Randy.
So who are you?
The question is not who am I? The question is where am I?
So where are you?
Your front porch. This gives her pause. She moves to the window and pulls aside the drapes.
Why would you call me from my front porch?
That's the original part. We see an angle through the window. She can't quite see all of the porch.
Oh, yeah? Well, I can call your bluff.
Sydney goes to the front door. She unlocks the bolt, unsnags the chain, and pulls the door open, revealing the front porch, completely empty. She steps onto it, phone still in hand. A single light shines overhead, illuminating the porch, but little beyond. Darkness is all around.
So where are you?
Right here. Sydney peers. No, I don't want to download an update. No, get out of here.
Oh my God.
Sorry. My computer's trying to update.
We need to get rid of that program.
We really do. I don't know why it's still there.
I didn't do it.
All right. Right here. Sydney peers out the darkness past thick shrubs that grow on either side of the porch.
I don't want no shrubs.
Can you see me now?
Uh-huh.
What am I doing?
Sydney sticks her finger up her nose, pretending to pick. Silence. No answer.
Good try, Randy. Tell Tatum to hurry. Bye now.
If you hang up, you'll die just like your mother. Sydney stops dead in her tracks, speechless. Do you want to die, Sydney? Your mother didn't. His seriousness unnerves her. Sid flies off the handle.
Fuck you, you cretin.
She hangs up on him, moves back inside the house, locks, chains, and bolts the door when a figure comes leaping out of the hall closet, rushing her, ramming into her side. The phone flies. The figure is on top of her as she goes down, dirty, screaming. She looks up to see the figure, darkly dressed as a pale face, distorted, white and ghostly. It's a mask. Her instincts surface and she kicks up with her foot, making contact with his leg. He topples over, coming right at her, his hand finding her neck. Suddenly, a long silver blade appears above her. Sydney pulls, jerks, twists. Finally, she lifts her torso forward, knocking the figure off of her, sending him reeling into the living room. Wasting no time, Sydney leaps to her feet. She moves to the front door, unlocks it, pulls it open. It catches on the chain. Shit. She pushes it closed again, looking at the figure behind her. The figure has risen, knife in hand. Sydney pulls on the chain and then, inexplicably, turns and runs up the stairs. The figure right behind her. Interior of the upstairs landing. The figure leaps at Sydney, taking a hold of her foot. She grabs madly at the wall. Her hands grasp a framed painting of a quiet country home. Subdued colors done in oils. She rips it from the wall, swinging it behind her. It catches the figure head on, smashing against his skull, sending him backwards, tumbling down the stairs. Sydney races into her bedroom. From the interior of the bedroom, she locks the door shut. She pulls the closet door open, placing the edge right at the doorknob, just as the figure pounds against the bedroom door. Ramming it, it rips open, but the closet door catches in a crazy vice-like hold. Sydney grabs the desk phone. It's dead, off the hook downstairs. The figure rushes the door several times. The frame splinters, but won't give. Sydney is at her computer. She punches at the keys, typing madly. Close in on the screen as the words appear. Fax modem, 911, send. A knife slashes through the crack in the door wildly. Back on the screen, help killer, 34 Elm Street. Sydney presses send. When it occurs to her, all is quiet. The figure is gone. A fearful silence. She looks around, the only sound her own rapid, terrified breathing. Back on the screen, quote, stay calm, police en route, unquote. Suddenly, a noise at the window. Sydney looks up to see Billy, her boyfriend, staring at her, surprised.
Oh, Billy, please, God.
I heard screaming. The door was locked. Are you okay?
He's here. He's trying to kill me.
Billy pulls himself in through the window. As he does, a small black object falls from his dark jeans. It hits the floor and Sydney eyes it. A sleek, compact, cellular phone. Sydney stops in her tracks. Their eyes meet for an eternity. A siren is heard in the distance. Sydney bolts.
Hey, wait, what's going on?
Billy reaches for her. Sydney unblocks the bedroom door and tears out of the room. From the landing, we see Sydney fall down the stairs. Nearly fall down the stairs. From the interior of the foyer. From the interior of the foyer, she rips the chain off the door, pulls it open, coming face to face with a white, ghostly mask. A massive scream erupts from her gut as the camera goes back. We find Deputy Dewey holding it. Red lights
Surprise,
flashing.
motherfucker.
Sirens blast as a car. What? Sirens blast
As car
after car surrounds the house. There we go. Sydney falls into the safety of Dewey's arm. Exterior of the front yard minutes later.
Just the one arm.
Yeah. Exterior of the front yard minutes later. The yard is a whirlwind of activity. An ambulance, squad cars, and cops everywhere. Close in on Billy's face as it smashes against the hood of a police car. His hands are being cuffed. He's being read his rights.
I didn't do anything. Sid, where's Sid? Ask her. She'll tell you.
Dewey holds open the car door as Sheriff Burke steps out.
We got him, Sheriff Billy Loomis.
Hank Loomis's kid? Oh, Jesus.
He's her boyfriend.
They approach Billy as he's being placed in the squad car.
Sheriff, I didn't do it. Please call my dad, please.
The squad car disappears with Billy as another car comes to a stop in front of the house. Tatum gets out, freaked beyond belief. Back to the sheriff and Dewey as they storm across the yard.
No, I was the first to respond.
What were you doing out here?
Drive-by patrol.
How is she?
She's tough.
Have to be. The shit she's gone through.
Across the yard sits Sydney, in the back of an ambulance as paramedics check her out. Sheriff Burke and Riley approach.
We're seeing a lot of you today.
She tries to smile, but it fails.
You gonna be able to come down to the station and talk to us for a bit?
Yeah.
Tatum appears, barreling past an officer.
What happened? Oh, God.
Tatum rushes to her, grabbing a hold of her.
What are you doing here?
Oh, God, Sid, I'm sorry I was late.
You can't be here, Tatum. This is an official crime scene.
It's okay. You're supposed to pick me up.
Her dad's out of town. She's staying with us.
Does Mom know?
Yes, you doofus.
2 news vans come driving up the street. From the exterior of the street, we see a big white news van coming to a stop in front of the house. The side door slides open and Gail Weathers hops out just in time to see Sydney being escorted to the squad car.
I'll be damned.
Jumping from the driver's seat is Kenny, Gail's cameraman and flunky, an earnest young chap on the chubby side.
What? What?
Jesus, Kenny, the camera, hurry.
But it's too late. Sydney's as good as gone. Gail sees Tatum moving quickly to her car.
Excuse me.
Tatum looks up to see Gail Weathers rushing her.
Was that Sydney Prescott they just took away?
I don't know.
What?
I'm not talking to you. Oh, Michelle, we can't hear you. We can't hear you. Internet.
It's like what happened with Elizabeth last time.
With Elizabeth. I need to upgrade my net. Elizabeth. And she's frozen.
Oh no!
No.
Oh no!
No! This is like
I'm
the best
still
thing.
not talking to her because she's frozen.
Okay, we're starting. We're getting some unfreezing. We got some sound?
Yeah.
Hey!
All right, so I'll start from, okay, I don't know.
Can you tell me anything? Oh, wait, hold on. So I don't
Tatum
know.
hops in the car, ignoring her.
Well, this close enough. Yeah, you're a real pain in the ass, and I'm gonna pause for this since this is perfect, since this is what Michelle's kid's name is. Leave Sid alone.
Tatum's car peels out as Kenny comes running up with the camera.
Where'd she go?
Where did he go, George? Gail spins around, flashing her pearly lights.
Look, Kenny, I know you're about 50 pounds overweight.
Fat shaming.
But when I say hurry, please interpret that as move your fat tub of lard ass now.
Gail moves back to the van, leaving Kenny miffed. We move to the interior of the police station. The small town station, the bullpen is a little square room with 4 desks, and tonight it's hopping. Cops everywhere. We go into the sheriff's office. Sydney sits down at the desk, drinking a cup of water. She wears the sheriff's jacket over her shoulders. Dewey approaches.
Did you reach my dad?
You sure it was the Hilton?
At the airport.
He's not registered. Could he have gone to another hotel?
I don't know. I guess.
We'll find him, Sid. Don't worry.
Sydney stares blankly, numb. Billy, interior of the sheriff's office. Billy sits opposite Sheriff Burke. Next to Billy sits his father, Hank Loomis, an older version of Billy.
What were you doing with that cellular telephone, son?
It's my phone. He was just playing around with it.
You got some ideas of playing around, boy.
I didn't call anyone with it. I just took it for fun.
Everybody's got one now. Why don't you check the phone bill, for Christ's sakes? Call my carrier, Airphone Cop. They'll have records of every number dialed.
Thank you, Hank. We're on it. What were you doing at Sydney's tonight?
Just wanted to see her, that's all.
You rode your bike out there?
Yes, sir.
And last night? Sydney said you crawled through her window last night, too.
You were out last night?
I'd watched TV for a while, but then I felt like going for a bike ride.
Did you ride past Casey Becker's house, too?
No, I didn't. I didn't kill anyone, Sheriff.
We're gonna have to keep you, Billy. The governor's got SBI, FBI, and God knows who else on their way down here.
Billy fights back tears.
This is crazy. I didn't do it.
Sheriff Burke eyes him up and down, very carefully. We move back to the interior of the police bullpen minutes later. Tatum has joined Sydney. The sheriff's door opens and Billy is led out by a couple of uniforms. Burke and Dewey appear in the door, watching Tatum comfort Sydney. Out of earshot.
That ghost mask is sold at every five and dime, neither of which keep purchase records.
What about the cellular phone bill?
They're Pony Loomis's company. Don't be mourning before you see anything. Do you think he did it?
20 years ago, I would have said not a chance. But these kids today, damn if I know.
Hey, Dewey, can we go now?
Hold up a second.
She's staying with you?
We haven't located her dad yet.
God damn it, Dewey!
Dewey turns to her, his face beet red.
What did Mom tell you? When I wear this badge, you treat me like a man of the law. Mom also said it's my turn with the Xbox.
In 1996, okay.
And 64, same difference. I'm sorry, Deputy Dewey Boy, but we're ready to go.
Use the back way. Avoid the circus.
That's what he said.
They exit towards the rear of the building.
Superior.
A janitor is your superior, Dewey.
We see the exterior of the police station, the side door. The door opens and Sydney, Tatum, Dewey, and a couple of officers exit, avoiding the horde of reporters.
Kevin and this couple of goddamn.
I know. It's literally COUPLA, couple, and a couple of officers. Exit, avoiding the horde of reporters that can be seen just around the corner, waiting anxiously at the front entrance.
Oh, I'll get the car. Wait here.
Dewey takes off. From the darkness of the alley, Gail Weathers appears with Kenny and his camera. They've been waiting.
Hello, Sydney.
Sydney spins around to see Gail standing, smiling at her. Sydney's body tightens and her face goes taut.
Some night, are you all right?
Their eyes meet, cold, familiar stare. Sydney says nothing. She's visibly shaking.
What happened?
She's not answering any questions. Just leave us alone, okay?
It's okay, Tatum. She's just doing her job. Right, Gail?
Yes, that's right.
Dewey, in a squad car, turns into the alley and pulls up. The other news people have wisened up. They begin to flock the alley.
How's the book?
It'll be out later this year.
Sydney tries to contain herself, squeezing a clenched fist.
I'll look for it.
I'll send you a copy.
In a blurred, unexpected instant, Sydney brings her fist forward, slamming it hard into Gail Weathers' face. The impact sends Gail reeling backwards, knocking into Kenny as they both tumble to the pavement. Back on Sydney, breathing deep, a sense of satisfaction on her face. Cut to the interior of Tatum's bedroom later. Spacious bedroom, typical. Tatum and Sydney lay on the bed. They both wear nightshirts.
God, I loved it. I'll send you a copy. Bam, bitch went down. I'll send you a copy. Bam, Sid, super bitch.
Dewey appears in the doorway holding a bag of ice.
I thought you might want some ice for that right hook.
Sydney sits up, takes the ice, and puts it on her hand.
I'll be right next door. Try to get some sleep.
Dewey moves back out the door.
Word on my dad?
Not yet, but we're looking. If you need anything.
Yeah.
Dewey smiles, pulling the door closed on his way out. Sydney lies back down.
Another sleepover at the Rileys.
Just like old times, isn't it?
No.
Or ain't it?
No, not
Sydney rolls over at her side, away from Tatum. Telephone rings somewhere in the house.
Oh God. Oh, it's me. Sorry. I pulled a ginger and I scrolled too far. Do you really think Billy did it?
He was there, Tatum.
I knew this guy was too perfect. He was destined to have a flaw.
A knock at the door. It opens suddenly. A friendly, graying woman pops in. This is Mama Riley. She wears a comforting smile.
Telephone, dear.
Who is it?
It's for Sid.
Dad?
Mama Riley shakes her head sadly.
Take a message.
It's all right. I'll get it.
Sydney takes off out the door. Mama Riley motions to Tatum.
How is she?
Tatum shrugs. We move to the interior of the hallway. Sydney grabs the phone at the end of the hall.
Hello?
Hello, Sydney. It's him again. The camera does a Hitchcock as Sydney's entire body goes weak. His voice moving through her, invading her. She cries out.
No!
Mama Riley turns to the doorway. Tatum comes bolting out of the bedroom. Poor Billy boyfriend. Innocent guy doesn't stand a chance with you.
Leave me alone!
Looks like you fingered the wrong guy. Again.
That's funny.
I love that.
Who are you?
Hang up, Sid.
Don't worry, you'll find out soon enough. Promise. Mama Riley beats on the closed bedroom door.
Dewey, Dewey!
This is gonna be fun, Sydney. Just like old times. Click. Dewey flies out of his bedroom wearing only boxers, holding a gun.
What? What?
Phone goes dead. Sydney stands frozen. We move to the exterior of Woodsboro Main Street. Dawn. The morning sun shines high overhead Woodsboro Times Square. That doesn't make sense. If it's dawn, it doesn't shine high overhead. Anyway, cars come to life. Townsfolk stirs as the picture postcard community awakens from a restless sleep. Interior of the kitchen in the morning. Sydney and Tatum sit on the kitchen table, dressed and ready for school as Mama Riley serves up breakfast. Small television set sits in the corner, blaring. Dewey in uniform stands near the door, talking on the phone.
I think you girls really should stay home today.
Your objection is duly noted.
I'd rather be around a lot of people, Mama Riley.
From the TV, Sydney hears her name, Sydney Prescott. All eyes go to the television.
Who escaped a vicious attack last night was the daughter of Marine Prescott, who was brutally killed last year when convicted murderer Cotton Weary.
Insert of Cotton Weary in prison fatigues. Once a handsome man, now haggard and worn.
Broke into their home and savagely raped and tortured the deceased. Cotton Weary is currently awaiting appeal for the death sentence handed down after young Sydney testified against him. She was the key witness in the state's prosecution.
Never gonna stop, is it?
Dewey's off the phone now.
Billy was released. His cellular bill was clean. He didn't make those calls.
Somebody called me, Dewey. I'm not making it up.
I know. Oh, we're checking every cellular account in the county. Any calls made to you or Casey Becker are being cross-referenced. It's gonna take time, but we'll find them.
And my dad. Any word on him?
Dewey shakes his head no.
Riley.
Yeah, that's Dewey.
Oh, that's confusing. Anyway.
I know.
Considering there's 3 Rileys in that scene, yeah.
Exterior of the school later. Once again, reporters line the street attacking students as they make their way to school, asking questions, hungry for that teenage insight. Dewey's patrol jeep cruises by. Sydney watches from the passenger window. Interior of the patrol car. Dewey pulls up to the front of the school. Tatum hops out while Sid lingers. Suddenly unsure, Dewey takes notice.
Hey, it's school. You'll be safe here.
Sydney forces herself out of the Jeep as a microphone is shoved into her face.
How does it feel to have almost been brutally murdered?
Dewey leaps from the car, intercepting the reporter.
Leave the girl alone, will ya? She wants to go to school.
Sydney eyes the news van that's pulled up behind her. The side door slides open and Gail Weathers steps out.
Come on, Sid.
Just a sec. I need to talk to someone.
She heads over to Gail. From the exterior of the news van, we see Sydney pull up. She puts her head down, hiding her face, avoiding other reporters as she makes her way to Gail, who sits with the open door, checking her face in the mirror. Makeup tries hard to hide Sid's handiwork, the swollen black and blue right cheek. Gail spots Sydney and immediately leaps to her feet.
Stop right there.
Sydney throws her hands up in surrender.
Hold up, bitch. I'm not here to fight.
Stay back.
I want to talk to you.
Kenny, camera, now.
Penny's head darts out of the van.
Off the record.
Forget it.
Sydney contains herself.
Please, you owe me.
I owe you shit.
Gail moves inside the van, but Sydney is relentless.
You owe my mother.
Your mother's murder was last year's hottest court case. Somebody was going to write a book about it.
And it had to be you with all your lies and bullshit theories.
What is your problem? You got what you wanted. Cotton Weary's in jail. They're going to gas him. A book's not going to change that.
Do you still think he's innocent?
Gail's interest is piqued. She eyes Sydney suspiciously.
He was convicted in a court of law. Your testimony put him away. It doesn't matter what I think.
During the trial, you did all those stories about me. You called me a liar.
I think you falsely identified him, yes.
Have you talked to Cotton?
Many times.
Has his story changed?
Not one word. He admits to having sex with your mother, but that is all.
He's lying. She wouldn't have touched him. He raped her, then butchered her. Her blood was all over his coat.
He was drunk that night. He left his coat at your house right after your mother seduced him.
I saw him leaving wearing it.
But couldn't it have been someone else you saw wearing the coat? The same person who planted it in Cotton's car, framing him? The same person who really killed your mother?
A long beat. Sydney considers this for the millionth time.
No, Cotton murdered my mother.
But there's doubt in her voice. Gail's face lights up.
You're not so sure anymore, are you?
Sydney clams up.
No, it was Cotton.
Tatum comes waltzing up.
Nice welt.
Gail ignores her, zeroing in on Sydney, half realizing.
The killer's still on the loose, isn't he? These murders are related.
Yo, let's rock.
Sydney starts to fidget.
Sorry I fucked your face up.
She takes off with Tatum. Gail calls after her.
Wait, Sydney, don't go.
But Sydney and Tatum have already disappeared into the crowd of students moving across campus. Gail looks at Kenny.
Jesus Christ. An innocent man on death row? A killer still on the loose? Kenny, tell me I am dreaming.
Oh no, you're muted.
Ah!
Want to go live?
There we go.
Gail's mind races with possibilities.
No, not so fast. I want to have something concrete.
When did that ever stop you? You can't sit on this. This is huge.
If I'm gonna blow this up, I need hard proof.
But it's so much easier when we make it up.
Not this time. I owe Cotton that much. Hell, even I thought the guy was guilty.
We cut to the exterior of the school campus. Seconds later, Sydney and Tatum making their way across the campus.
Relax, you're at school now. No one can get you here.
But if it wasn't Billy, it could be anybody. He could be here at school right now.
They move up the walk as a figure falls in step behind them, sporting white ghost mask.
Serial killers are smart by definition. They minimize their risks. They plan and pre-calculate everything. Showing up here would be the most lame brain move he could make.
He promised me he'd be back.
As easy as the figure appeared, it disappears, falling out of sight, unseen by either of them.
I wouldn't put too much stock in a psycho's promise.
They move up the front steps towards the main door of the school as the ghost masked figure reappears, standing at the top of the steps. Sydney sees it first, stopping dead in her tracks. She steps back, spinning around to find a ghost face behind her as well, both of them approaching, closing in on her. Sydney starts to scream when the two ghosts bust up laughing, tearing across campus. Exterior of the street, in front of the school, we catch up with a reporter doing a live remote. She holds a mask in her hand.
This morning, several students in what appears to be a prank have been spotted wearing masks. School officials have yet to comment, but this is the same type of mask worn by the killer.
Before you start, Mona, before you start this next one, I had to rewrite this scene a little bit because of the draft, so I apologize in advance if the tone doesn't match.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Interior of the hallway, minutes later, just before the bell. The hall is congested with students heading to class. Tatum is at her locker with Sydney.
This is a mistake. I shouldn't be here.
I want you to meet me right here after class, okay?
Sydney nods. She turns to Stu.
Haven't seen Billy around. Is he really pissed?
Oh, you mean after you branded him the Candyman? No, his heart is broken.
Stu!
Tatum hits Stu. All eyes go to the ghost masked student running down the hall, screaming wildly, running amok.
Why are they doing this?
Are you kidding? This is like Christmas.
Tatum hits Stu in the head with a lollipop.
Stop it!
Stupidity leak!
Sorry.
Tatum sees Sydney take off down the hall crying. She glares at Stu.
Sydney?
I love that you did the exact line. Interior of the corridor, seconds later, and Sydney runs right into Billy. They collide hard, catching Sydney off guard, scaring the life out of her. She falls backwards, but Billy catches her fall.
Jesus, shit!
Hey, it's just me.
Sydney pulls away from him quickly. Billy feels the slide.
What, you don't still think it's me?
Sydney catches her breath.
No, I don't. It's just, oh God, Billy, someone was there. Someone tried to kill me.
The police say I scared him off. It wasn't me, Sid.
I know. He called again last night at Tatum's house.
See, it couldn't have been me. I was in jail, remember?
I'm so sorry. Please understand.
Understand what? That I got a girlfriend who would rather accuse me of being a psychopathic killer than touch me?
You know that's not true.
Then what is it? Is there somebody else?
No.
Is it the sex thing? Am I being too pushy?
Yes.
No, it's
Yes.
Billy. A bitch would never. Anyways, I need time. I'm still adjusting to my mom.
A year since she died.
Tomorrow. 1 year tomorrow.
When are you gonna let it go, Sid? When my mom left my dad, I just accepted it. This is the way it is. She's not coming back.
Your parents split up. It's not the same thing. Your mom left town. She's not in a coffin somewhere.
It will
You
be in the next
have
one.
to move on, Sid.
Sydney starts to walk away, but turns back, angry.
I'm glad to know you're coping so well with life, Billy. But some of us aren't so perfect. Some of us are just trying to hold on.
Sydney disappears through a door marked girls' bathroom, leaving Billy alone in the hallway. He smacks his forehead, pissed at himself. From the interior of the girls' bathroom, we see a large, spacious room. Closed bathroom stalls line one wall, facing a row of sinks and a huge mirror. Sydney enters as two girls tinkle and talk, each with their respective stalls. What the fuck is that?
That's I can tell you what it is. It's Kevin Williamson, who wrote this script, is openly gay and probably has never been in a women's restroom before. But
That's exactly what we do.
yes.
Respecting gay men hasn't been in a girl's restroom.
Mm. She was never attacked. I think she made it up.
Why would she lie about it?
For attention. This girl has some serious issues.
Sydney listens intently. A toilet flushes. Sydney looks around and quickly jumps into a stall, hiding as girl number one appears from a stall. She looks just like that voice, a snotty, twitty little girl.
Oh my God. What if she did it? What if Sydney killed Casey and Steve?
Why would she do that?
Maybe she was hot for Steve and killed them both in a jealous rage.
Another toilet flushes.
Why would Sydney want to be with Steve? She has her own bubble butt boyfriend, Billy.
Maybe she's a slut just like her mom.
From inside the stall, you see Sydney listening, her face weakening.
You're evil.
Please, it's common knowledge. Her mother was a trollop.
Girl number 2 appears from her stall, another twit. They both stand in front of the mirror, adjusting their 2 snotty little faces.
Cut her some slack. She watched her mom get butchered.
And it fucked her up royally. Think about it. It makes perfect sense. Her mom's death leaves her distraught and hostile in a cruel and inhumane world. She's disillusioned where God, etc., where's God, etc., completely suicidal, and one day she snaps. She wants to kill herself, but realizes teen suicide is out this year, and homicide is a much healthier therapeutic expression.
From the stall, Sydney listens, her heart pounding, jaw quivering. We cut back to girl number 2, fixing her perfect 90s bangs.
Where did you get this shit?
I love that we're basically just doing Kelly voice. Ricky Lake.
You shit bag.
I'm not
The
best
2 girls
shit out of
catch
you, shit bag.
No, the
Sydney
voice.
moves out of the stall, catching her reflection in the mirror.
Jimmy Fallon.
Ew.
It's that Jimmy Fallon skit.
Yeah. Ew.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Where are we?
Pathetic.
There we go.
Water drips somewhere from a leaky pipe as wind whistles in from the cracked transom above the bathroom door. It sounds almost like a whisper. Sydney spins around. What the fuck? She checks out the bathroom. The doors of the stalls are all closed. She bends down and scans beneath them, looking for feet. Not a single one. Nothing. She turns back to the mirror and suddenly, Sydney. Unmistakable this time. It's the voice. The voice strikes Sydney like a nail through the eye. It comes from one of the stalls. She stands thunderstruck, eyeing the stalls through the mirror.
Is someone there?
A long, morose silence, and then, it's me, Sydney. Sydney spins around. Fuck no. He's here. Terror floods her. She eyes the door, then the row of stalls she must pass to get out. She checks under the stalls again. Nothing. Where the fuck is he? She takes a step forward when 2 feet step from the toilet onto the floor in the last stall. Sydney's face draws tight as the stall door begins to creak open. She bolts forward, making a break for it, but slips on the wet floor, her feet flying out from under her. Sydney reaches out, grabs hold of the sink, saves herself from falling. She glimpses a ghost-faced mask in the mirror coming for her. A hand grabs her shoulder as she slams her body through the exit door, narrowly escaping. We cut to the interior of the principal's office. Close in on the red-faced Principal Himbry as he reads someone the riot act.
I'm sickened. Your whole havoc-inducing, thieving, whoring generation disgusts me.
The camera swings around to reveal 2 ghost masked students standing at attention. Mr. Himbry rips the mask off one of the students' head.
2 students have been savagely murdered. And this is how we express our compassion and sensitivity.
He rips the mask off of the other student.
We throw on a mask and dance around campus just hoping someone else gets butchered before we get bored again. You're both expelled.
The ghost doth protest.
Come on, Mr. Himbry, it's just a joke.
Yeah, that's not fair.
A deep-rooted hostility has taken over Mr. Himbry's face. Neither student budges, scared to even breathe.
No, it's not fair. Fairness would be to rip your insides out and hang you from a tree so you can be exposed for the desensitized, heartless little shits that you are.
Exterior of the school street minutes later. Dewey's patrol jeep is parked in front of the school. He stands in the open driver's door talking on the radio. We hear Sheriff Burke from the radio.
She's okay. Looks like some boys were teasing her. Hembry's shutting down the school, though. Want you to take a look around.
Yes, sir, Sheriff.
Dewey shuts the Jeep door and heads for campus when Gail Weathers appears, her fake face aglow.
Hi, Gail Weathers, field correspondent, Inside Story.
I know who you are, ma'am. How's the eye?
Productive. So they're closing down the school?
Well, yes, ma'am, for the time being.
Dewey heads for the school building. Gail scurries alongside him flirtatiously.
And why is that? Has something happened?
You're not supposed to be here, ma'am.
I know. I should be in New York covering the Sharon Stone stalker, but who knew? Please, call me Gail. You look awfully young to be a police officer.
Dewey's eyes wander down to Gail's long legs, the way her hips move as she walks. He is clearly distracted.
I'm 25 and a half years old, ma'am.
25, huh? In a demographic study, I proved to be most popular among males 11 to 24. Just missed you. Of course, you don't look a day over 12. Except in the upper torso area. Does the force require you to work out?
Dewey looks away, blushing a bit.
No, ma'am, because my boyish good looks, my muscle mass has increased my acceptance as a serious police officer. See, I'm
Get a room. Get a room.
No.
They approach the school's front entrance. Suddenly, Mr. Hembry's voice amplified through the intercoms across campus via the PA system. Everyone stops and listens.
Your attention, please. Due to the recent events that have occurred and until it comes to a resolve, effective immediately, all classes are suspended until further notice. The Bayboro Police Department has also asked me to announce a citywide curfew beginning at 6 p.m. I repeat.
Gail speaks over Mr. Hembry's voice.
Boy, people sure do make a fuss over a serial killer.
Serial killer's not really accurate, ma'am. The killer's yet to strike twice.
Well, we can hope, can't we? We certainly don't have any leads. A ghost mask, a cellular phone, not much there.
We're tracking the cellular phone bill.
Really? You small town guys are good. Have you located Sydney's father?
No, not yet.
He's not a suspect, is he?
We haven't ruled out the possibility.
Dewey realizes he's saying too much and clams up.
If you'll excuse me, ma'am.
Am I keeping you? I'm sorry.
Oh, that's quite all right. You know, if I may say so, ma'am, you're much prettier in person.
You do watch the show.
He turns around to her earnestly as students come pouring out of the front doors.
I just turned 25. I was 24 for a whole year.
You are precious. Please call me Gail.
She smiles deliciously, giving him a wink, and then struts off as Dewey, like a nervous little schoolboy, watches her go. Interior corridor. Seconds later, the school is clearing out. The halls have begun to empty as Tatum escorts Sydney down the hall.
Y'all need to step your pussy game up or other parts up because Luke's killing it. That's all I'm gonna say.
I know, right?
That's all I'm gonna say. But that being said, it was just some sick fuck having a laugh. Oh God, I'm still in girl number one voice.
It was him, Tatum. I know it.
Tatum wants to believe her, but
you're not to be alone again. Is that clear? If you pee, I pee.
Stu appears.
Is this cool? Not cool or what? Hey, Sid, what happened?
For once, Stu, drop it.
Okay, but whatever you did, the entire student body thanks you.
Stu moves to Tatum and gives her a kiss.
Wow! And to celebrate this impromptu, quit moving the screen. This impromptu fall break, I propose we have a party tonight at my house.
Are you serious?
My parents are out of town. It'll be like my hurricane bash last year. Nothing extreme, just a few of us hanging.
Tatum warms up to the idea.
This could be good. What do you think, Sid?
I don't know.
Come on, pathos has its perks.
Sydney considers trying hard to be good-spirited.
Remember, there's safety in numbers.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Cool. See you guys tonight. Bring food.
Stu speeds off,
Mhm.
sliding down the empty hallway. We cut to the interior of the principal's office a little bit later. Mr. Hembre sits at the desk, staring at the ghost's mask before him. He picks up one of them, snickering. He stands and moves to the closet next to his office door. He pulls it open to reveal a mirror hooked on the inside. He tries the mask on, pulling it over his face, looking in the mirror when a knock at the door stops him. He rips the mask off of his head, turns to his office door, and opens it to reveal an empty doorway. Pokes his head around the outer office area, looks around, but nobody's there.
Yes. Hello.
The place is empty. A little suspicious, he closes the door, catching his reflection in the mirror. He looks at the mask in his hands. Jesus, even he's jumpy. 2 seconds later, another knock at the door. Hembre grabs the door, quickly this time throwing it open. Again, there's no one there. Steps into the outer office, determined to catch this prankster. From the outer office, we see that it is completely empty. Mr. Hembre moves through the outer office and into the school corridor. The overhead lights have been turned off and the corridor is now dark and deserted. He looks up and down the hall. Only a janitor is seen in the distance pushing a broom.
Little shits.
Mr. Hembre returns to his office. As Hembre re-enters his office, moving to his desk, he spots the closet, which is now closed shut. This gives him pause. He'd left it open, hadn't he? Suddenly, he can't remember. He shifts uneasily, reaching for the doorknob, pulling the door open to reveal an empty closet. He stands still a moment, suddenly realizing someone could easily now be standing behind the open closet door. Nervous, he pushes it to close to reveal nothing. Hembre shakes away his jitters, realizing that he's just spooking himself. He continues to the desk and pushes his office door shut when a ghost mask figure lunges from behind it, knife in hand. Quick and easy. 3 quick jabs into the stomach and Hembre goes down, the ghost mask figure towering above him.
And scene. That's intermission. So we're gonna be back. At 8:45, and we'll tell you a little bit about Flip the Senate, and more. I think some more of us are gonna die. So we'll.
Not I, because Black Lives Matter too.
Yeah. Yes. All right. So we'll see you at 8:45, y'all.
Bye.
15.
Thank you, 15.
You did not have to log on just because I said, oh shit.
Oh,
on the
I've been here.
speakers.
I've been here the whole time.
I know. I've been again. I'm not sure when I should get ice for my for that scene.
Oh yeah, when is it coming up?
About 20 pages. I'm thinking. Let me scroll down because I'm
Forgot
thinking.
how annoying bangs are.
Several people have suggested that I get them, and I'm like, hell no.
No, bangs are like, look, bangs are the worst.
Yeah.
They are coming,
Yeah.
especially in the 90s. Like everybody
Yes.
had them, and like.
Okay, so exterior country road night is where I should grab my ice.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna get like a glass of ice, and then when I need it, I'll just use it. Everybody's killing it per usual. That girl number 1 and girl number 2 scene. Like, I thank you for following my beat.
When I've been running lines with Robert all week, that's the exact voice I've been doing it in.
I mean, I literally thought I thought like of Kelly. I literally thought, oh my god, shiz. I thought of what I would be as an annoying teenage girl.
I just channeled my older sister and her friend growing up in California as how they talked all the time. That's how they talked it.
Where'd you grow up in California?
San Diego.
Ooh.
Yeah, I miss it.
So,
On the daily.
weird segue. Don't mind
Okay.
don't mind. So I just found out through a group chat. What the fuck am I saying?
Chat.
Group chat. Thank you. Because one of my friends is on the dating app, and she asked us, she was like, isn't it such and such his husband on Tinder? And I'm like, that's him. And it's a weird segue because they live in San Diego. And so I'm like, so now we don't know what to do. Do we mind our business? Do we say something?
Long as it's not your stalker from last year, I would just stay out of it.
Oh, it's nothing like that. My shit is crazy.
Girl.
This is still live on YouTube, so.
Hi, YouTube. Hi. No, there's anonymity. Like, I'm not mentioning names.
No, I never knew his name. We literally just knew them. And Sam, can I say the nicknames that we had for him on the podcast? For him and the other one?
Everything is on the podcast.
Okay, I want to make sure. Well, she was. I'm not saying that she was going through guys at the time, but she was calling one guy new. We called one guy Old Dick because she wasn't with him anymore. We called the other guy New Dick.
That's it. That's all. And if my mama sees it, hey girl, that's all. That's all. Like,
no, nothing should surprise your mom anymore after we did WAP at your birthday. Nothing.
Yeah, mom's totally cool with me saying pussy. Just.
Well, between that and the dress you had on that night, which my mother would have whipped my ass 6 ways to Sunday in that dress. You look great. Don't get me wrong.
Thanks.
When I showed my mom goes, she goes, am I singing? I go, yeah, you are. You're basically the fringe is covering the right areas.
Yeah, it's covering all the naughty bits, as they would say, all the naughty bits. Yes. Yes. So all is well. Yes.
Luke, you are fucking killing me.
Yes.
Like,
thanks. I thought it'd be funny to make him a literal child.
I'm trying not to laugh.
I mean, you're giving me like notes of whatever they did for him in actual Scary Movie.
Mm-hmm.
Never saw it.
Wow.
Well, you're channeling them.
Yeah, you're evoking it.
Yeah. If I could find the Scary Movie script, I'm gonna have to make.
You're cutting in and out for me.
Me too.
Same.
Of course, okay. So what I said was, if we find this, I can be Brenda.
Something about Brenda.
And I'm still unstable. God, hold on.
Girl, you've been
Better,
unstable
worse.
most of your life.
Yeah, I was gonna say, cue unstable joke.
No,
Can't say
I was
stuff like
saying
that around this one.
no. I was saying if we find the script for Scary Movie, we totally need Sam to be Brenda for a number of reasons.
Oh my God. It would be my honor. It would be my
Yes.
great honor and pleasure and privilege.
Yes. Cindy, these is Bones.
That
You
would-
gonna get scared by Callista Flockhart?
Now that I've watched Scream, now the natural succession is to watch Scary Movie.
Yes. Well, actually, the natural progression would be to watch Scream 2, which is far superior.
No. I think it should be.
Fun bit of trivia: the original name for Scream was indeed Scary Movie, until they changed it.
No, it all comes back full circle.
It's full circle.
Full circle. Thank you for that tidbit.
Yep,
Yes,
it's the only thing I'm good for.
No. Here for the
No. You're good at playing bad dudes.
Yeah,
You're
sir,
good
all
at
that,
playing Dewey.
all the antagonist realness. All the antagonist.
Yeah, too bad the villain in the next one doesn't talk, right?
I'm excited for Brother Daniel's heavy breathing in that. I'm really excited for that. I'm also excited for whatever Kelsey is going to be doing for the See Anything You Like scene, because she's not going to flash us. She said she's going to do something silly for that. She might be holding Pussy up for that.
I was saying, Reggie has a couple of titties she can show.
Oh God! All right. Quick pee and HRT, and then we'll get going.
Okay. She's a lot calmer this time than she was last time. She was freaking out about our moods.
Yeah, she was probably like, "What the fuck are y'all doing?
Yeah.
Like, this is not the normal. Like, what?"
Apparently Drew doing a scary voice and hitting me is normal, so and me being a dude bro is normal. So she's good.
Yeah, she's totally used to that. So, are you all doing anything for Halloween?
I don't think so. I don't think we want to risk anything because it's so close to the wedding.
Sure. Yeah.
We're probably just gonna stay home and watch scary movies, right?
We've got plans to bag up candy for trick-or-treaters and either throw it at them or stick it in the yard somewhere.
Yeah,
Throw
just
it
They
at
don't
'em.
have to get close to us.
the cowbell, be like, "Come and get it."
Quick, here, poof, and then just toss it at the kids.
That's always a fun idea. I'm thinking about, and I don't know if it'll be cultural appropriation, but my heart wants me to be Selena Quintanilla Perez for
Do
Halloween
it.
Bad, so I'm considering that.
Do
I'm
it.
gonna be Orville Peck, so
Ooh.
I got a fringe mask coming along. It's gonna be sick.
Ooh. Trans
Got a
mask
costume all
voice,
figured out.
Orville Peck.
Uh-huh.
Ooh.
I'm going with Herbert West.
Oh, yeah, I love Herbert West.
Yeah,
I'm going
can't see
as-
it, but I've got the poster right next to my desk. So
I'm going as Borat 2, and my friend is going
Oh
as
my
Borat 1.
That's
Oh, wow.
So,
We're gonna wear the same costume.
so Helena, you missed it. I said that I was considering being Selena.
Oh, you gotta be Selena.
Does that mean I have to be Yolanda?
You have to be Yolanda.
God damn it!
Yes.
Okay.
Way to
Okay.
make the rules, girl.
Okay. So, but since we're all back, and since I'm broadcasting this on YouTube, Sam, we're doing the scene in a minute, but I gotta explain something.
Sure.
Sam and I have a love for the '97 J-Lo movie. And we have a love for the absolute worst scene in the movie. Right after she shot Selena and Yolanda's got the gun to her head in the car. And we quote this like it's literally like just, it's like we literally was quote, "I kill my best friend." I don't deserve to live.
It's why our friendship has stood the test of time.
We gotta work that in. We gotta work that into like something with my wedding. I don't know how, but
Somehow, yes.
somehow.
Say that during a wedding.
I can lip sync dreaming, and and then we just do like a cutaway dramatic scene of Yolanda in the car outside the hotel. Like, I think it'd be great. I think we can manage that, actually. I think we can do it. I think we can figure out about it, and
I'm expecting.
I'm actually halfway excited.
God.
I can't with this. But no. Yeah.
All right, you guys ready
I'm
to get
sorry.
going?
I don't know what's up with my
No,
kid.
because we got to talk about the.
Yes, I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, well, okay. So we're back, obviously, since we're talking bullshit. 24th, we're doing Halloween, also for this same charity that I'm going to let Michelle tell us a little bit about in a hot minute. November is still kind of up in the air. I will say on the 14th, we're probably doing Office Space. And Luke, if you enjoyed Luke in this role, this is the only casting decision that I've made so far. And Luke's gonna be Lumberg. So I'm very excited for this.
Yay!
Great.
In terms of what we're raising money for this month, as I've said jokingly, and I am also serious about, Flip the Senate is part of Act Blue, where you donate and your donations go to very vulnerable and leaning and flipping Senate races. So you can give like $10 and it's going to split it all the way down the board through the Senate races. Because the only thing that's scarier than Ghostface right now is one more second of any of these stupid motherfuckers getting more than their current term. So I'm gonna let Michelle explain why it's so important that we flip the Senate, because when she was on her Facebook on Monday, she listed a bunch of the stuff that's been sitting on Mitch McConnell's desk for months or years at a time. So Michelle, if you wouldn't mind.
So I'll just like do a real because my YouTube video is my Facebook video is like 15 minutes long. So I'll just kind of do a shortened version. So we all remember high school government class, 3 branches of government. All of the laws and the bills get made in the House and the Senate. The president essentially just says yes or no, right? So it's really important that we make sure to make the Senate blue this year, because we have a lot on the table. Supreme Court justice seat, gay marriage, as we saw the other day, gay rights, trans rights, the stimulus that's still sitting on Mitch McConnell's desk that he refuses to sign. It's been over 18 months now since the extension for the Violence Against Women's Act was approved, again sitting on Mitch McConnell's desk for 18 months, which is freaking ludicrous. But for me, the only way to make sure that Trump loses, even if he wins, is if we have a Democratic Senate and House, because that's where most of the decisions are going to get made. And that's how we can make sure that gay marriage is safe, that Supreme Court seat is safe, and that we don't turn into a total Russia, right? So that's why Flip the Senate is so important. Whatever anyone can donate that's watching right now, like she said, $10, they're just going to split it down the board. We've already raised a little over $400 for our screening tonight. I guess a lot of people wanted to see what I looked like in the 90s with bangs.
This is kind of it's kind of everything, I'm not gonna lie.
So yeah, I did this today in my bathroom while my son kind of laughed a little bit outside the door, asking every 30 seconds, "Are you okay?
Leave Sid alone."
Are you okay? Are you really gonna do it? So yeah, and it was, bangs. I have naturally curly hair, so I don't know what this is gonna look like after I take a shower tonight and my hair like whoosh. But it means a lot to me that people donate, and that was my sacrifice for it. So split the Senate, vote blue,
Yeah, and
all the way down the ticket. And let's take back our country, because I'm tired of this shit. I'm
Amen.
exhausted of being exhausted.
And I'm going to, before I turn it over to Mona, I'm going to put something out there. I'm testing it hopefully in the next couple of days. But for Halloween script reading, I'm playing Annie Brackett, who, spoiler alert if you haven't seen this movie, dies by strangulation by Michael Myers and lays on the horn of her car. I'm going to test something tomorrow probably, but if we can raise $100 by a certain date, watch our Facebook page for it. I will try and carry either my phone or this laptop out to the car, and I will lay on the horn and honk and die out there.
Oh no.
So we're gonna see if my neighbors call the police.
Well, because living where you
We'll see
live.
if it works. If not, I'll come up with an alternative fundraiser. Yeah. ACAB 1312, you know. Mona, let's do this thing.
All right. Exterior of Tatum's house. Afternoon, later. The late afternoon sun is quickly disappearing. Tatum and Sydney rock on the front porch, looking out into the small town neighborhood. Dewey's patrol jeep is parked in the driveway. Despite loud music blaring from an inside stereo, there is a quiet moment.
Oh crap, why did that window open? Sorry, okay. Maybe Cotton Weary is telling the truth. Maybe he was having an affair with your mother.
No, you think my mom was a slut too?
I didn't say that, Sid, but there were rumors. Your dad was always out of town on business. Maybe your mom was a very unhappy woman.
If they were having an affair, how come, whoa, that's a weirdly worded.
Mm-hmm.
If they were having an affair, how come Cotton couldn't prove it in court?
You can't prove a rumor. That's why it's a rumor. These lines of dialogue, the fuck.
Created by that little tabloid twit Gail Weathers.
It goes further back, Sid. There's been talk about other men.
And you believe it?
Well, you can only hear that Richard Gere gerbil story so many times before you have to start believing it.
A long silence as Sydney agonizes over all of this. She stands up and moves to the edge of the porch and stares out into the neighborhood.
If I was wrong about Cotton, then he's still out there.
Don't go there, Sid. You're starting to sound like some Wes Carpenter flick. Don't freak yourself out. We've got a long night ahead of us.
You're right. I'm cracking up. Ignore me.
Come on, let's rock.
Sid follows Tatum inside the house, never seeing the ghost masked figure that stands across the street under a tree. His presence so subtle and unobtrusive, you'd have to have seen the movie a second time to know he was there all along. Exterior of the main street later. Stu is moving along the main street when Billy comes barreling up next to him.
How'd you do?
Piece of cake. She'll be there.
Thanks, Buttwort. You did good.
So you gonna try and make up with Sid?
Duh, that quick.
I was just asking, why are you always at me?
Because I'm trying to build your self-esteem. You're far too sensitive.
Oh.
You ready to party hard
Billy.
tonight?
Oh, okay. You know it.
They come to the building centrally located in the heart of Main Street. A huge blue monstrosity bigger than the local bank and post office combined. The front sign reads Blockbuster.
Oh, my heart.
Interior of Blockbuster. Your typical Blockbuster, huge and crowded. Randy and his Blockbuster getup is busy reshelving the returns when Stu appears, knocking the videos out of his hands.
Jesus, this place is packed.
We had a run in the mass murder section.
You coming tonight?
Yeah, I'm off early. Curfew, you know. Now that's poor taste.
What?
Randy refers to Billy, who stands down the aisle talking to two girls. The twits from the bathroom, perhaps?
My God.
If you were the only suspect in a senseless bloodbath, would you be staying in the horror section?
It was all a misunderstanding. He didn't do anything.
You're such a little lapdog. He's got killer printed all over his forehead.
Then why'd the police let him go?
Because obviously they don't watch enough movies. This is standard horror movie stuff. Prom Night Revisited.
Randy moves down the aisle, reshelving videos.
You're taking forever. Why would he want to kill his own girlfriend?
There's always some stupid bullshit reason to kill your girlfriend. That's the beauty of it all. Simplicity. Besides, if it's too complicated, you lose your target audience.
So what's his reason?
Maybe Sydney wouldn't have sex with him.
Yeah, because she's saving herself for you.
Could be. Now that Billy's tried to mutilate her, you think she'd ever go out with me?
I think her father did it. How come they can't find his ass?
Because he's probably dead. His body will come popping out on the last reel somewhere, eyes gouged. See, the police are always off track with this shit. If they'd watch Prom Night, they'd save time. There's formula to it. A very simple one. Everyone's always a suspect. The father, the principal, the town derelict.
Which is you.
So while they're off investigating a dead end, Billy, who's been written off as a suspect, is busy planning his next hunting expedition.
How do we know you're not the killer?
Randy spins around to find Billy right behind him. Busted.
Hi, Billy.
Maybe your movie freaked mind lost its reality button.
Randy shrugs, laughing it off.
You're absolutely right. I'm the first to admit it. If this were a scary movie, I'd be the prime suspect.
And what would be your motive?
It's the 90s. Motives are incidental.
We cut to the exterior of Main Street a little bit later. Dewey's patrol jeep makes its way down Main Street. It's almost dark. The street is close to deserted. In the interior of the patrol jeep, Dewey's behind the wheel, having a heated conversation with Tatum while Sid stares out the window.
Party, Mom's gonna kill you, then me.
Oh, muted.
You're muted.
You're mute, Fias.
I knew it. And as soon as I saw that it said muted, I knew Sam was gonna come for me.
Bitch.
Don't be so self-righteous. It's just a little blowout. We'll be perfectly safe.
Sid stares out the window. Closed signs fill storefronts, and a few people rush to their car in a hurry beat curfew.
Sarah,
quit moving your mouse
quit
around.
moving your damn mouse.
Sorry.
Every time you move your mouse around, it covers everything that we're trying to read.
Sorry.
God, look at this place. It's the town that dreaded sundown.
Hey, I saw that movie. It was rated R. True story about some killer in Texas.
Hey, Sid, just think, if they're gonna make a movie about you, who's gonna play you?
Oh God, I dread the thought.
Dewey comes to a stop, parking the car in front of the police station. He looks to Sid with a brotherly smile.
I see you as a young Meg Ryan myself.
Thanks, Dewey. With my luck, they would cast him spelling.
From the exterior of the Jeep, we see everyone pile out of the Jeep. Dewey heads for the station.
I'll just be a few minutes. Don't go too far.
The girls take off to the local supermarket that sits just across the street.
Are they going to be there tonight?
Better not be. I told Stu to keep his mouth shut. I think we can live without everybody's all-American for one night.
They approach the grocery store, small and simple. Sid and Tatum grab a shopping cart from the bin and enter the store, pushing the cart through two sliding glass doors. A lone checkout lady behind the counter, big and frumpy, looks up counting money.
All this.
You girls gonna have to hurry it up. We're under curfew.
2 minutes tops.
They make a beeline for the junk food section just as the automated doors slide shut behind them, and a ghost masked figure appears out of nowhere, standing just outside, watching quietly through the glass door windows. From the exterior of the police station, the sheriff's office, Sheriff Burke's face heats up as Deputy Riley marches in hurriedly.
Dewey, where the hell you been, boy?
Keeping my eye on Sydney.
Listen up, Dewey, because it's bad. Real bad. Aircomp just faxed us. The calls were listed to Neil Prescott, Sydney's father. He made the calls with his cellular phone. It's confirmed.
Could his cellular number have been cloned?
There's more. Guess what tomorrow is? The anniversary of his wife's death. It's all Fitz. He's our man.
Have you contacted the Bureau?
They believe he's out of state by now. We'll keep roadblocks and curfew in effect through the night. If he's not picked up by morning, we'll do house to house.
You think you can sneak me in town?
He'd have to be crazy. Where's Sydney?
She's with my sister. Should I bring her in?
If you can hold off the snacks, boy. Stay close to her.
Oh, I know this one. She'll be with her friends over at Stu Mocker's tonight.
Watch her. Don't let on. Just keep your eyes out.
Yes, sir.
We cut back to the interior of the supermarket a few minutes later. Sydney and Tatum push a basket through the junk food section. The store is completely empty. The girls grab freely.
Gab.
Yeah, that too.
Lily's right. Whenever he touches me, I just can't relax.
You have a few intimacy issues as a result of your mother's untimely death. It's no big deal. You'll thaw out.
So with all this sex stuff, how many guys would put up in the
Billy and his penis don't deserve you.
Bro.
Sydney grabs some chips and salsa from the shelf. Down the aisle, through the storefront window, the ghost masked figure still stands, watching their every move. From the exterior of the supermarket, we see Sid push the cart out of the glass door and Tatum riding it. The ghost masked figure is nowhere to be found.
What do you think about when you're having sex?
With Stu, there's little time to stop and reflect, but sometimes before, to relax and get in the mood, I think about Grant Goodeve.
Sid pushes the cart and Tatum across the street.
Who?
Grant Goodeve, the oldest brother on Eight is Enough. Remember that show? He was the one who lived off alone. He would come around every now and then with his guitar and sing Eight is Enough to fill our hearts with love. He had all these brain-dead sisters and that idiot brother from Charles in Charge. God, I was in love with Grant. He was so hot. The show came on every day right after school during my puberty years. Grant Goodeve was very instrumental in my maturing as a woman.
How does that get you in the mood?
During foreplay, I sing the theme song to myself. Eight is enough to fill our lives with love. It's a real turn on. Grant wrote the song himself. I'm convinced the lyrics had a secret meaning. Eight is enough.
Sid pushes the cart up to Dewey's Jeep. Tatum hops out.
What secret meaning? Like a satanical thing?
Watch the show, Sid. His basket is bigger than the one you're pushing.
Tatum.
Oh, Sydney, what? A guy can talk tits until he's dead, but the minute you mention an 8-inch weenie, watch out?
Sydney stops just short of a laugh. Tatum pulls the back Jeep door, loading the groceries in. Behind her, the ghost masked figure appears, just out of sight, behind the Jeep's open back door.
There's that sense of humor. I knew it still existed. Oh, Sid, let's have some fun tonight.
Deal.
Sydney moves to the back door and closes it shut. From behind, Dewey stands. Sid jumps, startled.
You girls ready?
Not you from behind. Yeah.
Looks like I'm your personal bodyguard tonight, Sid.
No, Dewey, you'll ruin the whole night.
I'm sorry, police orders. I'll stay out of the way, I promise.
All cops are bastards. Shit.
Tatum kicks the shopping cart out of the way blindly. It rolls down this road by itself, gaining speed on the decline, running smack into the ghost masked figure, who stops the cart cold with one hand. From the exterior of the country road at night, we see Dewey's Jeep make its way down the long, winding road. Headlights illuminate and the thick woods that line each side. Following behind them is at a discreet distance is a huge white news van. Dewey comes to the end of the road and it dead ends at Stu's house, which sits alone in a clearing, big and ominous, with no neighbors in sight. A huge old home just ripe for the night, fun and terror. From the looks of things, the party has already started. Music is blaring, few kids on the porch. We cut to the interior of their living room. It's a big room with kids sprinkled throughout, smoking, drinking, cutting up. A stereo blasts music while the TV airs around the clock killer coverage. Tatum and Sid enter with groceries. Various friends greet them.
Caterer's here.
The girls carry bags through the hallway that opens up into an enormous kitchen. Stu and some guys are leaning over the sink, drinking beer through a funnel.
That's mature.
Where have you guys been? We had to start without you.
We cut to the exterior of Stu's house from the road. We see the news van pull up and park unobtrusively on the side of the road, a few feet down from the front yard. In the interior of the news van, Kenny and Gail move around. Kenny hovers over a control panel complete with video monitors.
What's the plan?
Prep the compact. We'll hide it in the window. Tape all of tonight's festivities.
Kenny picks up a compact video camera the size of his fist. He checks on its battery pack.
The control board's glitched. You know we can't carry a live picture.
What's the delay?
About 30 seconds.
As long as it records, I don't give a shit. We're not doing a remote.
Gail slides open the side door and steps out of the darkness, not seeing the figure that stands behind her. A hand grabs her shoulder. Gail's heart stops, and she spins around to find Dewey, smiling, extremely pleased with himself, and to see her.
Evening, ma'am.
Deputy, good evening.
So, what brings you out to these parts?
You never know when and where a story's gonna break.
Oh, not much story here, just a bunch of kids cutting loose.
Then what are you doing here?
I'm keeping an eye on things, checking the place out.
Mind if I join you?
Well, on one hand, I do have a professional obligation, but on the other, not at all.
Gail leans into the van, grabs the camera from Kenny's hand, and throws it in her bag. She gives Kenny a wink. We cut to the interior of the kitchen, close in on a microwave with popcorn popping inside. The camera widens out to reveal Sid, Stu, and Tatum moving about the kitchen, preparing a junk food feast. Other teens pop in and out. Randy appears amongst them. He carries an armful of videos.
I thought we'd make it a blockbuster night.
He lets the videos splatter across the kitchen counter. Stu and Tatum dive in.
I thought everything was checked out.
I had them hidden in the foreign section.
Sydney peruses the videos.
Territory, prom night. How come Jamie Lee Curtis is in all of these movies?
She's the Scream Queen.
With that set of lungs, she should be. You're muted again, Tatum.
Hits. See?
From the interior of the living room, a few minutes later, we see the party going strong. 10, maybe 15 people stand, sit, and lean. Some crowd around the floor in front of the television. Randy is taking a vote.
How many Evil Deads? How many Hellraisers?
Hands go up, bickering, ad-libbing. The doorbell rings and Stu goes for it.
I got it. Tatum, give me a beer. They're in the fridge in the garage.
Am I the beer wench?
Hey, guess who's here? It's that chick from Inside Story.
They look up the hallway to see Dewey and Gail standing in the foyer.
Shit, Dewey!
Everyone perks up, eyeing Gail.
What is she doing here?
She's with me. I just wanted to check on things.
The guys in the room are drooling over Gail, including Stu.
So you did.
Hey.
Now leave and take your media muff with you.
Tatum takes off for the kitchen. Gail has quickly become the focus of the party, all eyes on her.
I watch your show regularly.
This must be the big news on Inside Story.
Huge.
Want to interview us?
We could be like two grief-stricken students and we'll say really nice things about our good friends who were slaughtered senselessly.
I can cry on cue.
Gail eyes the bookshelf above the television.
Maybe later?
Suddenly, Gail starts to cough.
Can I trouble you for some water?
How about a beer? Randy, get the lady a beer.
You get it.
Gail slips the camera from her handbag, hits the on switch, and holds it behind her, waiting for the right moment. Then back in the foyer, we see Sydney.
Found my father.
Afraid not.
Should I be worried?
Not yet.
Cut to the interior of the kitchen. We see Tatum alone. She empties the popcorn bowl into a bowl and then pulls open the refrigerator, looks quickly, and then remembers. She moves through the adjoining laundry room to the interior of the garage. The kitchen door opens, light floods the darkened garage. Tatum stands in the doorway, searching for the light switch. She finds the button and hits it. The electric garage door starts to rise. Wrong switch, hits it again, and it closes. She finds another switch. Click. A small light bulb overhead comes on, barely lighting the area of the large two-car garage, leaving pockets of shadows all along the walls. Tatum spots the refrigerator against the far wall and heads for it, not seeing the kitchen door quietly, slowly closing behind her, sealing her off from the rest of the house. Tatum stumbles to the refrigerator and throws it open, its light casting a glow across her face. Crash! Boom! Tatum jumps, spinning around in time to see a cat escape through the large pet door that's been built into the garage door. She smiles at her jumpiness. Tatum loads up her arms with as many beers as her hands will carry and heads back to the kitchen. At the kitchen door, she juggles the beer and reaches for the knob. It's locked.
Shit!
She kicks at it with her foot several times.
Hey, shitheads!
A moment, still no answer.
Oh, shit, piss.
Tatum leans over and with her elbow hits the garage door button. Brrr, it begins to rise. She moves towards the rising door, beer in hand. Then suddenly, the garage door resets, reversing direction and moving down, closing.
What the?
Tatum spins around to see a ghost masked figure, silhouetted in the darkness next to the kitchen door, his hand on the switch. Tatum at once gasps, taken aback, and then relaxes.
Is that you, Randy? Cute.
The figure stares at her blankly.
And what movie is this from? I Spit on Your Garage?
Tatum takes a step towards the figure.
Oh, lose the mask. If Sydney sees this, she'll flip.
The figure shakes his head slowly from side to side.
Oh, you want to play psycho killer?
The figure slowly nods.
Can I be the helpless victim?
Figure slowly nods again.
Okay, let's see. No, please don't kill me, Mr. Ghostface. I want to be in the sequel.
Tatum takes a step back around to move around the figure. But then he steps too, blocking her.
Cut, Casper. That's a wrap.
Tatum moves again, sidestepping the figure, but he's faster and cuts her off again. Tatum juggles the beers against her chest with one hand and with the other pushes the figure hard, knocking him aside.
Randy, will you stop?
But as the figure intercepts, lunging forward, grabbing her wrist hard, Tatum stumbles, beer cans hitting the floor, spewing.
You little shit!
Tatum yanks hard, releasing her hold when a flash of silver catches her eye. She looks down, glimpsing a long, sharp blade as it darts forward, cutting into her forearm. Tatum pulls back, horrified, as the moment turns deadly serious. The figure advances on her, knife out, ready. She staggers backward, holding her bloody arm, backing into the refrigerator, screaming.
Who are you?
The figure lashes out with a knife. Tatum dodges it, leaping back against the fridge. The figure advances. Instinctively, she rips the top freezer door open, bashing the figure in the face, sending him backwards, reeling. Tatum bolts to the closed garage door. In a panic, she beats and pulls on it, trying to make it lift. She eyes the figure. He's recovering. She goes to the pet door, dropping to the floor, diving for it. She wedges her upper body through, her head, shoulders, and torso, just as the figure pounces, grabbing a hold of her feet. Tatum goes crazy, screaming and kicking, trying to get through. From the exterior of the garage, we see Tatum half in, half out the pet door. She beats and jerks wildly, unable to see the figure on the other side. A true fighter, Tatum kicks hard, making direct contact with the figure, knocking him away. She takes the moment to pull herself through further, but she stops, stuck. She pulls and tugs, but can't move. She listens, but hears nothing. Where did he go? After an agonizing silence, we then hear the garage door is activated. It begins to rise upward, taking Tatum with it. She screams madly.
No!
Tatum's arms and legs fly about violently as she tries to free herself from the door, but it moves too fast, carrying her up, up, up. She looks above to see where the door rolls back into the garage rafters, just as her neck hits the first beam, snapping it instantly. And from the interior of the foyer, a few minutes later, we see that it's getting late and some kids have decided to leave through the front door, muttering things like parents and curfew. The door hangs open wide. Sid moves to close it when Billy appears in a classic fake scare.
Billy, Jesus, you scared me.
Stu appears.
Dude, what are you doing here? I mean, seriously, what are you doing here, Billy?
I was hoping Sid and I could talk.
If Tatum sees you, she'll draw blood.
You guys can go up to my parents' room to talk and whatever.
Subtlety, Stu, look it up.
It's okay. We do need to talk.
Sid grabs his hand and leads him to the staircase. Randy appears from the kitchen just in time to see Sid and Billy disappearing upstairs.
What's Leatherface doing here?
He came to make up,
There goes my chance with Sid.
like you had one.
We cut to the interior of the news van and we see Kenny fidgeting with the control board. He hits a couple of buttons, bangs the side monitor, and a picture finally emerges. The living room. The camera is positioned just above the television. On screen, the party is in full swing. Several teens sit right in front of the television. Because of the camera's position, they appear to be staring right into the lens. Suddenly, the van's door slides open and Gail pops in.
Your perfect placement. We can see everything.
Tell me,
Gail
Kenny,
is ecstatic.
has a cheesy tabloid journalist ever won a Pulitzer?
From the interior of the bedroom, in a large master bedroom with glass doors that lead out to a balcony, we see Sid and Billy staring at each other for a long moment. Awkward.
Oh.
So, I'm sorry. I've been a selfish shit and I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you are. No, Billy. I'm the one who's been selfish and self-absorbed with all of my post-traumatic stress.
You lost your mom.
But you're right. Enough is enough. I can't wallow in the grief process forever, and I can't keep lying to myself about who my mom was.
Billy bows his head quietly, knowingly.
I think in some weird analytical, psychological bullshit way, I'm scared I'm going to turn out just like her, you know? Like the bad seed or something.
Oh, Sydney.
Every time I get close to you, I see my mom. I know it doesn't make sense.
Sure it does. It's like Jodie Foster in Silence of the Lambs when she kept having flashbacks of her dead father.
But this is life. This isn't a movie.
Sure it is. It is all a movie. Life's one great big movie, only you can't pick your genre.
Billy moves to her. They embrace tenderly.
I want to let go. I do.
Everything's gonna be okay, I promise.
Sydney takes the initiative, acting on impulse, kissing him long and hard. She breaks away, passionately, out of breath.
Why can't I be a Meg Ryan movie?
Billy nibbles her neck.
It's okay.
Or even a good porno.
What?
She stares at him, her eyes sexually charged.
You heard me.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I think so.
They smile at each other. We cut back to the living room. The camera sits on the bookshelf lodged between two knickknacks, completely inconspicuous. Wink, wink. The camera widens to reveal several teens watching to watching the TV, the horror diehards.
Look, here it comes. Splat!
The blood's not the right color. Why do they do that? It's too red.
Comes another.
Predictable. Knew he was going to bite it.
How can you watch this shit over and over?
I want to see Jamie Lee's breasts. When do we see Jamie Lee's breasts? I just knocked over my damn drink again.
God damn it.
Clean up time. Not until Trading Places in 83. Jamie was always the virgin in horror movies. She didn't show her tits until she went legit.
No way.
That's why she always lived. Only virgins can outsmart the killer in the big chasing at the end. Don't you know the rules?
Stu finishes his beer.
What rules?
Randy hits the pause button on the remote and stands in front of the television explaining.
There are certain rules that one must abide in order to successfully survive a horror movie. For instance, 1, you can never have sex. The minute you get a little nookie, you're as good as gone. Sex always equals death.
Oh no!
2, never drink.
Hey.
Do drugs. The sin factor. It's an extension of number 1. And 3, never, ever, ever, under any circumstance, say, I'll be right back.
You want another beer?
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Oh.
There he goes, folks. A dead man. Wave bye-bye.
Foreshadowing.
We cut to the interior of the news van, continuous. Gail and Kenny watch the monitor. The party is clearing out some. We get a rap on the van door. Gail pulls it open to see Deputy Riley standing, all faces of smiles.
Sheriff just radioed me. I'm going to check out a possible leads. Thought you might like to join me.
What kind of lead?
A car was spotted in the bushes a little ways up the road.
I'd love to, if you're sure it's all right.
Ma'am, I am the deputy of this town.
Can I bring Kenny?
No, I mean, I should probably just take you for safety.
Gail steps out of the van, turning back to Kenny.
I'll be back.
She slides the van door closed. We cut to the exterior of the road. Gail heads for Dewey's patrol jeep.
Yeah.
Actually, I thought we could walk. It's not far.
Gail appears skeptical, but smiles anyway. She's genuinely smitten with the 12-year-old.
Ew.
Interior living room. Scary music fills the room. The party is reduced to the diehards in front of the television.
Look, here comes the obligatory tit shot.
Beautiful.
Finally.
We cut to the interior of the bedroom. Billy and Sydney are going at it passionately. He has his head buried in her neck.
Yikes. Hey, Sydney.
I'm sorry. 8 is enough to fill our lives with love.
It's working. Sydney pushes Billy off of her as she pulls her shirt over her head. She fumbles with the clasp of her bra as the camera rushes in on her breasts. Just as Sid's bra straps slide off of her shoulders, Billy moves in front of the camera, pulling his jeans off, blocking Sydney from view. The interior of the living room, seconds later, we see the horror fest continue when the phone rings. Everyone ignores it, and it continues ringing. Finally, Randy grabs the receiver from the side table.
Hello? Yeah? Holy shit.
Randy, freaked, drops the phone, finds the TV remote, and pauses the movie. The others protest.
Hey!
Hey!
So, what are we waiting for?
Wait, what?
Hold up. Did I skip ahead?
Yes,
Yeah.
you did.
I made a mistake. Don't mind me.
Listen up. They found Principal Humphrey dead. He was
Take it, Randy.
and hung from the goalpost on the football field.
This stills the room. Complete silence as the news sinks in. We cut to different faces, moments of devastation, disbelief, and then back to people.
So what are we waiting for?
Let's get over there before they pry him down.
And in seconds, the room is empty and everyone bolts for the door, hooting and hollering. Ow, ow! Leaving Randy ear drunk alone in the living room. He returns to the movie.
We were just getting to the good part.
We cut to the interior of the newsvan minutes later. Kenny is barely watching the monitor. He reached boredom some time ago. He finds a bag of Cheetos and chows down when he hears screaming from outside. He peers out the window to see the last of the party kids pile into 2 cars and race off down the road. He chews a Cheeto slowly, his interest peaked. We cut back to the bedroom. The sex is over and both Sid and Billy are dressing respectively. The post-sex awkwardness.
That's
Sid
straight people
brushes-
for you.
Sid brushes out her hair as her eyes come to rest on the telephone on the nightstand. It puzzles her as a stark revelation crosses her face. She turns to Billy, who sits on the floor, putting on his shoes.
Who did you call
What?
when you were arrested? You're allowed one phone call. Who did you call?
I called my dad.
No, Sheriff Burke called your dad. I saw him.
Yeah, and when I called, no one answered.
Uh-huh.
You don't still think it was me?
No, but if it were you, that would have been a very clever way to throw me off track, using your one phone call to call me so I wouldn't think it was you.
Billy stands up.
What do I have to do to prove to you I'm not a killer?
He makes a move towards her when, from behind, in a split instant from the balcony, we see the doors come open. The ghost figure. Sydney sees the ghost figure immediately screaming. Billy tries to calm her, oblivious of the advancing ghost.
Billy, watch out!
Billy barely turns as the long steely blade rises high in the air. It strikes down with force, hitting his chest, and we see blood spray into the air. On Sydney, as red crimson splatters across her face, as the knife is thrust in and out of Billy, who tries hard to put up a fight, but it's useless. He never had a chance. His body falls to the floor, lifeless. We cut to an angle of the ghost as he watches Billy's body come to a still before quietly, calmly turning his attention to Sydney, who stands numb, scared to death. Only when the ghost takes a step forward does Sydney break. She takes off like a rocket, leaping over the bed and out the door. The interior of the hallway, we see Sydney Sydney tears out the door and down the hall, coated in Billy's blood. We see the ghost as he catches up with her, grabbing hold of her collar. She pulls away from him, her shirt ripping down the back. Her hands find the doorknob and she goes for it, pulling the door open, moving quickly inside, locking it behind her. In the interior of a dark space, we see Sydney. Hands scour the wall for a light switch. The doorknob turns, the lock holds, and the door is nearly shaken from its hinges. And then, nothing. Everything goes silent. Only Sydney's rapid breathing fills the space around her. Sydney, trembling, shaking, reaches above her, feeling until she finds a string. She pulls, and the light bulb switches on overhead. She's in a small box of a room. The door is on one side, small, narrow staircase on the other. She eyes the doorknob and then the staircase, contemplating, but it's an easy decision. There's no fucking way she's going up to the attic. She unlocks the door and pushes on it, but it won't give. She pushes again. It's locked from the other side. Shit. She turns to the staircase. We cut to the exterior of the dark road, the long, deserted country road. In the distance, a single flashlight beams ahead, the only light in the black night. Gale and Dewey can be heard.
So, is Dewey your real name?
Dwight. Dewey was something I got stuck with a long time ago.
I like it. It's sexy.
It's just this town's way of not taking me serious for some weird reason.
Well, what about Gale Weathers? I sound like a meteorologist.
We close in on Gale and Dewey walking closely, side by side, flirtatiously. Gale is surprisingly nervous.
people treat me like the Antichrist of in television journalism.
So that's Sean Hannity.
I don't think you're so bad.
Gail smiles.
Are all local boys as sweet as you?
Dewey blushes. He starts to say something when headlights appear behind them. They both spin as two cars loaded with kids come racing down right at them. Dewey grabs Gail and pushes her off the road just as the cars speed by, oblivious to them. In the ditch, Gail lands face up with Dewey right on top of her. He steals a glance into his eyes before rolling off of her.
You okay?
Something takes Gail's attention.
What's that?
Dewey looks to where Gail points. He finds the flashlight and aims it at the bush. The tail end of the car is just visible.
Looks like a car.
Dewey helps her up and they move to it. He shines the flashlight on the plates, but it's already obvious to the camera. This is the same car we last saw Sydney's father driving away in.
Shit. Oh, don't tell Mom I said a bad word. It's Neil Prescott's car.
Sydney's father?
We gotta get back. Oh, goodness, he's here. What the fuck is he doing here?
Dewey is panicked. He grabs Gail and they race off down the road. We cut to this living room. Randy continues watching TV. He is now sloppy drunk, completely involved in the movie on the screen. Scary music swells, filling the room. Randy yells at the TV.
No, Jamie, look behind you. Watch out. Behind you.
As if he followed his own device, and if he followed his own advice, we would see the ghost masked figure that stands directly behind him, knife poised. From the interior of the news van, Kenny finishes off a soda and crushes the can in his hand. He tosses it to the floor when a movement from the monitor catches his eye. On the monitor, we see Randy still on the couch engrossed in the movie. Directly behind him, the ghost. Kenny does a double take. No fucking way. He watches as the ghost stands still, unmoving, knife raised.
Jesus. Fuck.
The ghost takes a silent step forward.
Behind you! Look behind you!
This kid needs help. Kenny bolts out of the seat and goes for the side door. He slides it open and sticks his head out as a long, sharp blade comes at Kenny, fast and furious, slicing his throat. Kenny falls forward out the door as the ghost mask figure is upon him. The camera pans to the monitor, just in time to see the ghost mask figure turn away from Randy, leaving him unharmed, moving instead out the front door on a 30-second walk to the news van. In the interior of the attic, we see a large, narrow room cluttered with furniture and boxes and the like. Moonlight filters in through a small raised window on the front wall of the house. Sydney moves through the attic, bumping into this, knocking over that. She passes a dusty mirror, jumps at her own reflection. She cringes at her image, drenched in Billy's blood. She stares long and hard, something about the blood, the redness of it. She moves on, determined. She eyes the raised window above her, a way out. If only she could reach it. We cut back to the exterior of the front yard. Gail and Dewey come running up the driveway, frantic.
I'll call for backup and my mom.
Okay. I'll get my camera.
They split up. The camera follows Gail as she rushes to the news van, throwing open the door.
Kenny, camera, quick.
The van is empty.
Kenny?
A car horn goes off. Gail spins around. It came from the patrol jeep in the driveway.
Dewey?
She moves across the yard to the jeep, and the door hangs open. Dewey is nowhere to be found.
Dewey, where are you?
A look of pure dread comes over Gail. We cut back to the attic and see Sydney has stacked object after object, building a ladder to the window. She climbs to the top, holding onto the window frame. She spots Gail almost immediately. She screams out, looking for the window latch, but there's not one. It doesn't open. Sydney starts beating at it, trying to break it. Cut back to the exterior of the house. At the front door, Gail, hanging tough, approaches the front door, unable to hear Sydney's screams 3 floors up. Gail reaches for the door just as she hears a loud, horrible shrieks from inside. She backs away. We cut back to the interior of the living room, and an ear-curdling Jamie Lee Curtis scream blasts through the empty living room as the horror movie on the TV comes to its horrifying climax. Randy is now gone. Back to the front yard, Gail races across the yard, putting distance between her and the house. She moves back to the van. In the attic, Sydney has found an old tennis racket. She swings a solid forehand at the window. The window sprays glass. Sydney moves quickly, lifting herself up over the broken glass, pulling herself through the window frame. On the side of the house, Sydney wastes no time looking for Gail. She looks for Gail screaming, but Gail is gone. Sid lowers herself down the ledge, sliding down the sloped portion of the roof onto the master bedroom balcony. Then she eases herself over the railing and lowers herself, letting herself hang as low as she can. Then she lets go, free falling the rest of the way. But in a split instant, the ghost appears, grabbing her wrists in midair. Her body hangs dangling against the side of the house. The ghost begins to lift her, pulling her back to the balcony. Sydney jerks, pulls, twists, but the hands have her, hoisting her up. Sydney screams madly, yanking one last time, freeing herself. She drops to the ground, a good 7 feet, landing on her back, hitting hard. She grabs the pained leg and brings herself upright. Back in the interior of the news van, Gail is frantic. She starts up the engine and hits the headlights when she discovers she can't see out the windshield. She rubs the glass, and sure enough, something is on the windshield outside, blocking her sight. Gail hits the wipers as blood smears across the glass and drips down from above. Gail screams as a hand reaches in through the open window. She looks up to see Randy staring at her madly.
Yeah.
What's going on?
A sheer moment of fear as Gail hits the gas, plummeting the car forward into the ditch. She hits the brakes. Randy is thrown forward away from the van. Gail reverses, backs up, hits the brakes again, just as Kenny's face comes sliding down on the outside of the windshield. Eyes wide, face distorted, blood everywhere. Gail hits the gas and yanks the wheel, sending Kenny's corpse flying off the top of the van. Gail spins the van around on the road, hits the gas madly, gaining speed just as Sydney appears in the middle of the road, drenched in blood, very much resembling a young Sissy Spacek. Gail swerves to miss her, but she turns too sharp and the van veers off the road at top speed, flipping it over on its side, sliding off into thick foliage. From the exterior of the road, we see Sydney racing to where the van lay on its side. Sydney peers through the windshield. Gail's body lay limp and bloody. Sydney cries out, turning and limping to the driveway. She sees the patrol jeep with its door open, and she goes for it. Come on, computer. Oh no! From the interior of the jeep, Sydney hops in. She reaches for the ignition, no keys. Shit. Just then, Sydney eyes the front porch. She watches the front door open, and a figure appears in the darkness, undetectable. She throws on the headlights, illuminating the front side of the house, revealing Dewey standing in the doorway.
Dewey!
Sydney opens the door, moving to him, noticing his body, slumped, knees buckled.
I
And
don't
then
feel
the
so
body,
good.
the body falls forward.
Oh, really?
Slowly, deliberately, hitting the porch hard. Standing behind him is the ghost. Sydney screams from the bottom of her soul.
No!
Sid jumps back inside to reveal the Jeep's closing the door, locking it. She reaches over and locks the passenger door, and then she waits. And she watches the ghost, leans over Dewey's still body, fumbling with something. And then the figure stands upright, and in his hands holds the keys. They jingle in the wind, the ghost toying with her, enjoying this. Sydney, hysterical, locks eyes with the figure as he moves to the door. Sydney leaps onto it, holding the lock button down, making it impossible to unlock. Her face is pressed against the glass, inches from the masked figure. She uses every ounce of strength when suddenly the ghost slowly disappears, dropping down below the window out of her view. Sydney moves to the center of the Jeep, trying hard to listen over her own rapid breathing. Every sound amplified. Then she hears it, the soft jingling of keys near the passenger side door. She pounces on the lock, holding it down. A shadow cuts the beam of the headlights, unseen by Sydney. The lock turns on the other side. Sydney leaps over and holds it down, securing it. This is beyond nerve-wracking. If only she could hold both locks at the same time. It's a fucking Jeep, it's not that wide. Sydney is certifiable. Her eyes spot the police radio for the first time. She grabs the mouthpiece and hits the switch.
Help!
Please, I'm at Stu Walker's house on Turner Lane. Please, he's gonna kill me.
We cut to the exterior of the Jeep looking from the front. Through the front window, we see Sydney ranting into the police van, and she doesn't see it. The ghost figure opening the tailgate as the Jeep and slowly crawling in behind her. The ghost figure reaches out and grabs a hold of Sydney's neck. Sydney, with surprising strength, spins around and attacks the ghost. She falls back against the dash, legs kicking wildly at him. Her hand reaches for the door, finds the lock and the door lever, and she pulls. The door swings open and Sydney falls out of the door, hitting the ground. From the yard, we see Sydney on her stomach, squirming away from the Jeep. She brings herself up to her hands and knees, looking behind her to see nothing. The ghost has disappeared. Sydney's eyes roam the yard, but he's nowhere. Completely gone, vanished. Sid crawls to the porch where Dewey's body lies. Thinking quickly, precisely, she reaches to Dewey's holster and grabs his gun when a voice echoes behind her.
Sydney.
She reaches and turns to see Randy racing towards her, limping. He appears stone cold sober.
Jesus, Sid, we gotta get out of here.
Sydney throws the gun forward.
Stop! Right there.
Don't shoot, it's me.
Don't come any closer.
Listen to me, Sid. I found Tatum. She's dead. She's been killed. I think Stu did it.
He steps forward, and then another voice speaks up just off camera.
Don't believe him, Sid.
Sydney spins around to see Stu moving up the walkway.
He's lying. He killed Tatum and Billy.
Stu moves closer to Sydney.
Stay away.
She aims the gun in Stu's direction.
His movie nut mind is snapped, Sid. He's gone psycho.
Don't listen to him. It's me. He's the one.
No, it's him.
Sydney has lost it. She doesn't know who to trust. She aims the gun at Stu, then Randy, then Stu.
Come on, Sid. Give me the gun.
No, Sid.
They both move towards her. There's no time. She has to act now. And finally...
Fuck you both.
And with that, Sydney steps back into the house and slams the front door shut. From the interior of the living room, we see Sid locking and bolting the door. From the other side, she can hear Randy screaming.
No, Sid. Open up, please. He's gone crazy.
His fist pounds against the door. Sydney, stumbling in the darkness, rushes to the phone in the living room. Just as she reaches for it, it rings, scares the life out of her. She screams, yanking it up.
Oh, please, God, help me.
Having fun, Sydney? Sydney falls apart, screaming.
No.
She throws the phone down, disconnecting the call. She moves back to the door. Randy's screams are maddening. She eyes the lock, deliberating.
Go away, leave me alone.
Clunk. We hear a noise upstairs. Sydney looks up the staircase into the darkness, her face shocked to see Billy emerging from the shadows, stumbling down the stairs, very much alive.
Oh, God.
He is blood-soaked and dazed. Sydney meets him in the landing, grabbing him, holding him.
I thought you were...
Oh, you're muted.
Oh,
2 for 2, killing it.
Right now.
I'm all right. Gotta get help.
Billy goes to the door.
He's out there.
Randy continues pounding on the door, screaming at the top of his lungs.
Please, you gotta let me in. He's gonna kill me.
Billy goes for the door. Sydney blocks him.
No, don't believe him.
Okay, give me the gun.
Sydney hands him the gun. Billy turns and unlocks the door, opening it. Randy rushes in, grabbing Billy, pleading.
Help me.
Shh, it's okay.
Stu's flipped out. He's gone mad.
Slowly, a small smile creeps across Billy's face.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Randy squints, confused, as Billy aims the gun at Randy and pulls the trigger. The blast throws Randy's body against the wall before sliding into a heap on the floor, still.
Anthony Perkins, psycho.
Billy turns to Sydney, who stands only feet away, face aghast. Fuck no, this cannot be happening. Billy's eyes are on her, unmoving. He sticks his tongue out and slowly licks the blood dried from his face, tasting it.
Corn syrup. Same stuff they use for pig's blood in Carrie.
Sydney's dumbfounded. Slowly, she takes a step back, moving into the dark refines of the kitchen. Billy lurches forward in a fake-out, baiting her. She takes another step back, petrified. We close in on Billy's face. It is no longer familiar to Sydney. There's something inhumane about his features now. His expression is pure evil. She takes another step back, shrinking into the dark kitchen. The camera takes a moment to adjust to the darkness as the outline of a figure appears, standing right behind Sydney. She continues to back up, moving right into the arms of Stu. Sydney spins around, her mouth open in speechless horror.
Stu, please help me.
Stu stares back at her, eyes wide, lips curled in a subtle smile as he holds a small, compact cellular phone up to his face.
Surprise, Sydney.
His voice sounds affected now, the voice of the killer. Sydney looks back to Billy, then Stu, then to Billy again. It all becomes too clear. She stands between them, her mind racing, calculating. She bolts into the kitchen. If for no other reason than to put space between her and them, they stand in the entryway, trapping her in.
Where you going? It's not over yet. We've got one more surprise. Stu, I believe it's your turn.
Oh yeah! Wait till you see this one, Sid. It's a scream.
Stu disappears into the kitchen.
What's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost.
Sydney stands trying to hold trying hard to hold a calm resolve. A noise comes from the kitchen, low dragging sound. Stu reappears from the front hall, wrestling with something or someone. We close in on Stu, and he's got a body in tow. He thrusts it forward, and it rolls onto the living room floor. Sydney looks down to find her father, bound and gagged. His eyes wide in fear, but very much alive.
Daddy.
That's what she said. She starts for him.
Every time.
Close enough.
Right. Stu places the cellular phone, as they all keep calling it, in Mr. Prescott's shirt pocket.
Guess I won't be needing this anymore.
Why are you doing this?
It's all part of the game.
It's called Guess How I'm Going to Die.
Fuck you.
We already played that game. You lost, remember?
You have to play, Sid. Don't want to disappoint your dad. He's been waiting around all night.
It's an easy game. We ask you a question. If you get it wrong, you die.
And if you get it right, you die.
You're crazy. Both of you.
The official term is psychotic.
You'll never get away with this.
Tell that to Cotton Weary. You wouldn't believe how easy it was to frame him.
Yeah, we watched a few movies, took a few notes. It was fun.
Billy and Stu relish in their madness, proud of themselves. Sydney looks to her dad and sees tears in his eyes. She looks back to Billy, unflinching, a determined look on her face.
Why did you kill my mother?
Why? Why? Did you hear that, Stu? I think she wants a motive. I don't really believe in motives, Sid. I mean, did Norman Bates have a motive?
Stu plays along, shaking his head.
Nope.
And did they ever really explain why Hannibal Lecter likes to eat people? Don't think so. So, you see, it's scarier when there's no motive, Sid.
Don't understand.
We did your mom a favor, Sid. The woman was a slut bag whore who flashed her shit all over town like she was Sharon Stone or something.
So we put her out of her misery. I mean, let's face it, Sid, your mom was no Sharon Stone.
Stu cracks up over this while Billy turns very serious.
Is that motive enough for you? Or how about this? Did you know your slut mother was sleeping with my dad and she's the reason my mom moved out and deserted me?
A sudden silence. Sydney is rigid with shock. Her words, his words, resonate with truth.
It's gender.
What?
Even Stu is surprised with his seriousness.
Think about it. On the off chance I get caught, a motive like that could divide a jury for years, don't you think? You took my mother, so I took yours. Big sympathy factor. Maternal abandonment causes serious deviant behavior. It seriously fucked you up. It made you have sex with a psychopath.
That's right. And now you're no longer a virgin. You gotta die. Those are the rules.
Billy sits the gun down on the table near the foyer and then moves to Sydney with a butcher knife in hand.
Pretend this is all just a scary movie, Sid. How do you think it's gonna end?
Sydney doesn't respond.
This is the best part, Sid. Billy's got it all figured out. Why do you think we kept your father alive so long? Why did we save you for last?
You know what time it is, Sid? It's after midnight. It's your mother's anniversary. We killed her exactly 1 year ago today.
Billy turns to Stu with the knife, and they eye each other.
Ready?
Yeah.
Billy pulls the knife back and brings it forward quickly, slicing into Stu. He stumbles to his knees, wincing in pain.
Jesus.
Sydney screams as blood gushes, real blood, a dark, deep red. Stu inspects the wound at his side and then smiles.
Good one, but it's my turn.
He takes the knife from Billy.
Hey, Billy.
Don't forget to stay to the side and don't go too deep.
Stu stabs Billy's belly, puncturing him. Billy doubles over.
Jesus! Fuck, that hurt!
Stop it!
Got the ending figured out yet? Time's running out.
Come on, Sid. Think about it. Your father is the chief suspect. We cloned his cellular. The evidence is there.
Billy takes the knife and slashes at Stu's arm. 2 quick cuts. He doubles over.
God.
What if your father snapped? Your mom's anniversary set him off and he went on a murder spree, killing everyone.
Except for me and Billy. We were just left for dead.
And then he killed you and then shoots himself in the head. It's a perfect ending.
Everyone dies but us. We get to carry on and plan the sequel. Let's face it, these days you gotta have a sequel.
Stu takes the knife and cuts at Billy.
Sick fucks. You've seen one too many movies.
Billy looks at her, bent over, crazed.
Oh, Sid, don't blame the movies. Movies don't create psychos. Movies just make psychos more creative.
Stu staggers a bit.
That's it, Billy. I can't take anymore. I'm feeling woozy.
Get the gun, I'll untie Pops.
Billy moves to Sydney's father.
Where'd you put it?
Stu is searching the foyer for the gun.
It's on the table.
No, it's not.
Billy hobbles over. The gun is gone.
Where the fuck is it?
Right here, asshole.
Billy and Stu look up in unison to see Gail Weathers, correspondent from the Inside Story, standing in the front doorway, gun in hand, her body tattered and bloody. Her hair is a mess.
She was dead.
I mean, she looked dead, and she still does.
Gail holds the gun firm, in total control.
I got an ending for you. The reporter left for dead in the van comes to stumble upon you two dipshits, finds the gun, fumbles your plan, and saves the day.
Sydney steps forward.
I like that ending.
Billy eyes Gail.
I know something you don't.
Billy walks forward and Gail tries to shoot him. Nothing happens. Billy kicks her out the front door and she hits the pole and falls unconscious to the ground in a heap pile next to Dewey.
Yeah, man.
Billy bends down, eyeing Gail.
So sweet. It works better without the safety on.
Billy stands up and is ready to shoot Gail.
He's mature now.
This is Gail Weathers signing off.
Stu chuckles, turning back to Sydney.
Baby, you're gonna love this.
He realizes.
Oh, shit.
Billy turns around too.
What? Where are they? Where are they?
Sydney and her father are gone. Stu winces. Not at the current situation, though.
I don't know, but I'm hurting, man.
Fuck!
The phone rings.
Should I let the machine get it?
Billy grabs the phone, practically yanking it out of the wall.
Hello?
Sydney's using the voice changer.
Alone in the house?
Bitch, you bitch, where the fuck are you?
Not so fast. I want to play a little game. It's called
Billy's looking around frantically.
Guess who just called the police and reported your sorry motherfucking ass?
Find her, you dipshit. Get up.
Stu's crouched by the phone in pain.
I can't, Billy. If you could cut me too deep, I think I'm dying here, man.
Billy points to the phone.
Talk to her. Talk to her.
Billy runs around looking for Sydney as Stu picks up the phone.
Hello?
Oh, Stu. What's your motive? Billy's got one. The police are on their way. What are you going to tell them?
Peer pressure. I'm far too sensitive.
We cut to Billy searching the house for her, ripping up cushions, going nuts. He grabs the phone from Stu.
I'm going to rip you up, you bitch, just like your fucking mother.
You gotta find me first, you pansy-ass mama's boy.
Billy hits Stu with the phone, running off to find Sydney.
Fuck! Oh, you fucking hit me with the phone, dick!
Fucker, where are you? You fuck!
Billy goes off looking for Sydney again, while Stu picks up the phone.
Did you really call the police?
You bet your sorry ass I did.
My mom and dad are gonna be so mad at me.
We cut again to Billy looking for Sydney. He stops at the closet, looks in, and doesn't see anything. He turns away but looks back, just as Sydney, in the killer's costume, slams into Billy with an umbrella.
Ah, bitch! Ah!
Billy falls to the floor and Sydney takes off the mask just as Stu comes running out, attacking Sydney.
Oh, my arm!
They fight along the ground. Stu chokes Sydney.
Always had a thing for you, Sid.
Sydney bites Stu's hand as he recoils. She throws a vase at him. Getting up, Sydney eyes the TV.
In your dreams.
Sydney pushes the TV on Stu's head as he dies, electrocuted. She walks out the wall and Randy pops up.
I'm sorry. It's all right.
Oh my God, Randy, I thought you were dead.
Probably should be. I never thought I would be so happy to be a virgin.
Billy surprisingly punches Randy back out and begins choking Sydney. Sydney and Billy struggle until he pins her.
Say hello to your mother.
Sydney puts her finger in the puncture wound from where she stabbed him with the umbrella. He screams until BAM! Gail shoots Billy again, sending him falling back. Sydney helps Randy up.
It's okay.
Guess I remembered the safety that time, you bastard.
Sydney, Gail, and Randy stare at Billy's lifeless body.
Careful. This is the moment where the supposedly dead killer comes back to life for one last scare.
As if on cue, Billy's supposedly dead body jolts up. Sydney, with zero hesitation, shoots Billy.
Not in my movie, bitch.
Then Sydney's dad bursts out of the closet. They all jump.
Dad! Ugh, Randy, help me out.
They pull the masking tape. Masking tape?
Kinda-
Masking tape is stick on
I
anybody.
had to rewrite this.
Masking tape. Get out of here. They pull the duct tape off of Sydney's dad's mouth.
Ah,
Oh, you okay? Are you okay?
yeah.
We cut to the exterior of Stu's house in the morning. We go outside where it is light out, just starting to be morning. It's the start of a new day and the start of their new lives. The area is crawling with police. An ambulance takes a groggy, barely alive Dewey away as Gail sets up the shot with her new crew.
Okay, I think it's going to go something like this. Just stay with me. Hi, this is Gail Weathers with an exclusive eyewitness account of this amazing breaking story. Several more local teens are dead, bringing to the end of the harrowing mystery of the mass killing that has terrified this peaceful community like the plot of some scary movie. It all began with a scream over 911 that ended in a bloodbath that has rocked the town of Woodsboro. All played out here in this peaceful farmhouse, far from crimes and the sirens of the larger city that its residents fled. Okay, let's take it back to 1. Come on, move it. This is my big shot. Let's go.
And end.
All right, so first off, I want to thank Mona for narrating because Kevin Williamson likes to describe everything like a motherfucker.
That was a lot.
Yeah. Wasn't the last one that I narrated also filled with stuff?
What was the last one that you narrated?
Clerks.
Yes. Oh God, yes.
Just saying, you do this to me every time.
And you wore the same shirt.
Probably. I love the shirt.
This night, maybe it's just 90s screenwriters just were very verbose. But let's go back through our cast and thank you all for tuning in as well. I'm going to start with our Principal Henry, our Kenny, our utility player, Narcissus. Thank you.
Always happy to help.
Yay! Stop it! What are you
You
doing?
did so good. I was so happy. We'll go to you next. Mocker played by Ginger Paradise.
Woo! Party!
Oh my God. Okay. Deputy Dewey Riley, Luke Suckington. I think you stole the show tonight, for real.
VIP!
Don't you mean MVP? Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
Randy Meeks, played by Sean Watson. Thank you.
Hello. Many thanks.
Gail Weathers. Gail, first of all, Michelle and Cadaver, y'all get props for like the second act quick change.
Props to the props.
Love it. Love
But
it.
Michelle, thank you for the Courtney Cox things. We greatly appreciate your dedication to the art.
You're welcome. Thank you guys for having me. It's so much fun.
Billy Loomis, played by Cadaver Daddy-O. I basically cast you in all of like the Jack Nicholson, Christian Slater-esque roles.
I've noticed a theme, yeah.
Does he kill someone? We should have Cadaver play him.
I know a guy who does murder.
Hey, he was a pretty good Neil.
That's true, although he kind of did a little murder.
Yeah, true.
Oh, Neil.
God. Okay,
Would have
we
only got
have
on there, right?
God. We have Mia Tatum Riley, which I didn't have to do much again and still died. Twice.
It's like you got to pick up my role for once.
And starring as probably one of the very few Black women to make it to the end of the movie, Sydney Prescott, played by Samantha Madison. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. That is it for us tonight. We will see y'all on the 24th for Halloween. And that's it, y'all. Good night.
Night.
Bye.